everybody, what is up, what is new, and how are you? Hi guys, it is so good to see you. What do I have for you today? Welcome to episode 1 of CultureCast.
Yes, big news.
Yes, CultureCast is here. We are, we just, wanted to talk about our different takes and thoughts on pop culture things going on, whether it's TV shows, video games, movies, music, anything, really. And so, this is my lovely co-host, Andrew.
Hello.
And,
Honestly, we've talked about this for a little bit, but today's theme, or what we want to talk about today, really just pushed us, over the edge.
Yes, no, today, we honestly were kind of rushing to get this together because we'd always talked about doing a podcast. We'd always talked about doing something together because we yap about it so much anyways. And, podcast equipment doesn't require a license at this point, or any kind of, they don't have any markups. They don't have anything. No. And, even if they did, we already got the dang thing. So, but anyways, yeah, so we basically decided because of our... What's the word I'm looking for? The
mutual disdain.
Oh, see, I wasn't even trying to go with disdain yet.
I was say maybe that's too heavy.
Maybe not for you. Maybe for me. Or no, sorry. Maybe not for. Wait.
Maybe it's too heavy for me.
Yes.
You truly.
No,
disdain.
I truly So I have another job, right? I work as a barista, and one of my regulars who comes in literally every single day. We've had just so much discussion about how much I dislike the Stranger Things finale and just season 5 in general, because it was really bad, and it was so bad that it inspired our coming to talk about it today.
Yeah,
and
had to do it.
Andrew literally has an 8-page
this started as
thing.
A notes file on my phone of me after watching the finale. Honestly, maybe even just after volume 2, before the finale, of me just all the plot holes, all the things bothering me, because people were complaining about volume 2 being lackluster, whatever. I wasn't that worried yet.
No, I honestly agree with you. When people are like, oh, volume 2 is buns, volume 2 is bad, blah 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 blah, I'm like, honestly, I didn't even really think it was that bad. Mm-hmm. I liked season 1, volume 1. I liked that better than I liked
season 5, volume 1.
What are we talking about? I thought we were talking about season 1. Are the volumes not in line with the season?
No. So the volume 1, volume 2 thing, it was their scheduled releases for season 5. So they just had season 1, season 2, right? For season 5, which is this last season, since they wanted to release it the first few episodes, the second few episodes.
Oh, they called it volume?
They called them volumes.
Oh my gosh, wait, I've been agreeing with people when I disagree with them. Wait, I think both... Wait, I'm so sorry, we disagree. I think all of season 5 is utter garbage.
Oh, okay.
Okay, actually that's really harsh. Let me sorry, I get really intense about my feelings about things. Whoa.
That's why we're here, though. That's why we're here.
I'm sorry, wait, let me, no, everybody calm down. What I mean is, in comparison to season 1, season 2, season 3 of Stranger Things, this is why I was so confused when people are like, volume 2 was such trash, and I was like, you guys didn't like season 2 of Stranger Things? That was such a
Why
good
are we
season.
Talking about season 2 right now?
I usually feel wow, usually if there's something to be hated on, I'm right behind you. I'm number 1 hater. So I was so shocked when people said that, but now that makes sense, actually, that it's actually, well, now I understand. Here's my thing. All of season 5 has the undertone of formulaic, poorly written, and she's right behind me, isn't she? That's literally the entirety of that season.
I won't disagree with you there.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of cliche writing. I thought there was a lot of exposition. I thought some of it was needed because I was like, okay, there's so many things, they're going to try to tie it together. Spoiler alert, they just decided not to tie almost anything.
Oh, wait. This is a spoilered podcast. If you haven't watched season 5 or the final episode of season 5 either, then maybe you should actually here, you know what? Don't go watch it. Why don't we just tell you what happens so you don't have to waste 2 hours of your life?
Because you would be a happier Stranger Things fan
if you
to
didn't
have watched 4 seasons and then just basically been told, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, if you just like listen to like the theories that people were coming up with before the final episode came out were like by far better than anything that they came up, like anything that they were able to conjure together. So
yeah, the 16-year-olds on TikTok were such better writers than the Duffer brothers at this point. And I've seen
it's got to do with that divorce though. I know it does. But yeah, no, sorry. I know we need to get into the actual list. I feel very passionately upset about this.
Yeah.
And the reason I feel very passionately upset about this is because it had like the bones of something that could have been like they could have made the most kick-ass final season ever with some of the most like the possibilities they set themselves up for were endless and
yes.
amazing. There was like so much amazing foreshadowing done by obviously the wife. Clearly the wife.
Because you've had so many writers
for them.
You've had so many writers in the writer room.
Yeah.
Because like TV shows, you go through directors per episode.
I didn't fart,
writers.
by the way. That was my hands.
Thank you.
I just needed everybody to... Sorry.
There's going to be zero audio that came through on your mic for that, so you're just
I did this,
that.
And I was like, I don't want anybody to be like, she farted,
I heard that. I heard that. You can't fool
I didn't. Me. Girls don't fart. Sorry, go ahead.
Right. But yeah, like TV shows always have multiple directors, writers throughout seasons, right? It's like episode 3 was by Sean Levy, episode 4 by the Duffer brothers. Like, but this last season was just supposed to be them and Sean Levy. Like the main creators were managing everything. So much potential. You could go in so many directions and be successful. You have such a devoted audience. You could write almost any ending and they'd be like, I'm satisfied with that.
You could have killed everybody off.
You could have killed everyone
and people would have been like
really
lost. Upset, but also like if you had done it in a beautiful, mysterious, magical, you could have kept everybody like you did. You could have kept everybody like you did. And if you had just done it differently, you would put more into it, put more thought into it, explained more things, filled more plot holes, I think people would have been satisfied.
Maintain the character arcs and who the characters have become over the first 4 seasons and just be consistent with that, they'd be satisfied. Mm-hmm. And there are some people satisfied, to which I say, good for you, happy for you, glad you can enjoy it. I don't know how people... For anyone who's not aware of what Conformity Gate is, Conformity Gate was the theorized discussion online about how after the finale, the Duffer Brothers and Netflix, they're fooling us. There's a secret episode 9 that's the actual finale, and we've just been under Vecna's curse, or Mike's been under Vecna's curse, or something. And that's why Volume 2, which was 5, 6, and 7, episodes 5, 6, and 7 of this last season, and then the finale, episode 8, were all like an illusion in the head because Vecna's got the curse. And there's like a small group, or like a group of people, I'll say, I don't want to put a general number on it, but there's a group of people satisfied. They're like, I thought I watched it, and I cried, so I'm happy, I guess. Great, satisfying ending. I thought they tied everything together. Again, to which I say, what were you watching? Because clearly there's a lot of things not tied together, not finished or completed properly, too many plot holes, and not like nitpicking things too, like errors in the writing, plot holes of things just left in the ether, like not talked about, not talking about the, where's Dustin's girlfriend that we haven't seen for a couple seasons, like not that.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I hear people complain about.
I literally forgot about her.
Yeah, and I've heard people
where
talk
is she?
Well, so basically in that one, they're just like, well, she's Mormon, I think, right? She was Mormon,
right.
And her parents were like, you're not supposed to have a boyfriend, you're not supposed to be talking, but she was doing it secretly, and she got in trouble and is like grounded, so whatever. Like, it's not as integral.
I'm so sorry, but that's the same thing as like, where's Vicky?
Except for yes, Agreed. However, I wouldn't be complaining if that's all it was. There's so many things directly, like, integral to the story that you just don't reference, don't talk about, don't tie up,
and then when
or get
they're
wrong.
asked, or yeah, when they're asked in interviews about their answers are so like the most bullshit. I'm so sorry. Like, watching them answer stuff in the interviews as a fan of the show is probably one of the most infuriating things ever. I'm like, what do you mean, I guess?
They basically gave shoulder shrugs.
I guess. And I'm like, what do you... This is...
And I don't want to... Like, we'll use the point because you know that we watched it together. So there were a couple things we immediately were like, what about this? We'll talk about it later. Those specific points, those specific issues that we have. But we saw it in real time and we're like, hey, I feel like we're missing like a chunk of information here.
Yeah.
Just not shown to us. And the runtime on this last episode is like dwindling.
Yeah.
So we're clearly not getting that answer.
Yeah.
And just one more note, like we just got done. Stranger Things it's one of the biggest shows. It's been on for 10 years. One of the biggest shows in the 21st century.
It's crazy.
One of the most successful, longest running. And you just came off the back of Game of Thrones having their final season and just mistakes,
I just don't understand.
Mess.
Like they were. It seemed rushed. It seemed like they felt like they didn't. It seemed very, very rushed. It seemed like they forgot about like everything that they basically. It was like they studied for a test, and then dumped all the information out right before they took the test.
Yeah.
Like they completely.
They just needed a pass. I just need a passing grade.
I just need a pass.
So
and like,
I just
by the
need
way,
to
you
get those
didn't even.
points.
You got like a D- at best.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Like I know some people. I don't know if anybody's quite as angry about it as I am because like I just feel like with the amount of resources you have as writers, you are the Duffer brothers. Mm-hmm. You've got a lot of stuff under your belt.
You are Netflix's bread and butter right now. Like
right.
This is all you.
And you're Stranger Things, one of the biggest IPs that Netflix has, if not the biggest IP Netflix has.
Yes.
And like you have some of the most talented, well-known actors ever. You have an incredible creative team. And how in the world are you going to let people down so bad with this, like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like chicken food.
Chicken fodder? Just
chicken food.
Because it really is. It feels like the most generic, cliche.
Like,
how do we...
Here you go. Eat your slop.
Eat your slop. It's like, you guys, we know you're dedicated. We know you've been fans for 8-9 years. Even the people who came on late, they're super involved and dedicated.
Bring fans in to check you on your knowledge. I genuinely, if I was a writer or like a director of a really big IP and I had like ravenously dedicated fans.
Yep.
Now, I don't know the like logistics of safety on this because sometimes those fans can be kind of a little bit scary. Maybe. But maybe not. Maybe not.
Well, that's why you're also Netflix.
Thing is, like, I would bring them in and I would be like, hey, I really want some of your, like, your take on some of this. Not even your take, more just, like, sit with me and let's, like, make sure that this is all rocking and rolling. Because I'll be honest with you, there are definitely fans who know Harry Potter better than J.K.
I was going to
Rowling.
use that as an
Like,
example.
There are fans who know FNAF better. Well, that's not true. Actually, let me take that back. I don't think so because I'm not sure
I don't
any
know
of
Scott
us
knows.
I don't think Scott knows. I don't think anybody knows.
He just kind of sits there and goes, what if I
think the person who has the most information would be like Dawko. But that's what he does. He keeps like Dawko and MatPat and like all of these like FNAF, all of these FNAF creators, bro. He keeps them around him and he's like, I'm sure he's just kind of like keeping them around because they like keep you in the
and you don't need them to be the writers where like they're actually writing the script hands on and they're like, this line is written by Dawko. Yeah, but
if you can't do it yourself, get some proofreaders.
You are Netflix. You can afford security. Bring in some fans that you vet and do this. You talked about Harry Potter. Harry Potter has so many dedicated fans who know the lore like the back of their hand. Yep. They, like you said, better than J.K. Rowling. And if they sat in a room, like a boardroom, there's like 10 of them, and someone would point out that didn't actually happen, or that character can't do that because of this reason
well,
here.
why would this character do that? That doesn't really make a lot of sense
Because
to me.
there's YouTubers who I've watched who have like vouched saying, please give us a show or let us sit in.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
We know this information and you just completely, like, the best example I can give is when they made Fantastic Beasts for Harry Potter. They just have a character where they're like, let's throw this character in here as like
the McGonagall, right?
McGonagall,
and
yes.
They're like, wait,
she's not born for another like 20 years.
How is she here?
They're like, we want a cameo for the fans, and they're like, but the fans are like, she's not born yet.
Yeah.
And that's simple as just being like, hey guys, check my work. Am I right on the lore here? Could have done that.
Yep. Because
also,
it's like so important when you build such a amazing world. And that's my whole point with all of this and why I feel like it's such a
travesty.
Like it makes me so angry is that they had built, and again, this is my thing. I really believe that the wife, I think that she was like the front runner for this thing. I think that this was like her baby. I don't know why I believe that, but the way that this season has gone has led me to really believe that she was the one kind of really orchestrating the really good things about this show.
Well, just that the Duffer brothers weren't too hands-on. Like, maybe they were, but they had more cooks.
Right.
And now they were like, we're the only cooks in the kitchen. Everybody else get out.
Yeah, it's something like that. But basically, it's like this whole world that you have built is like, we're so used to so many repeat IPs. There's so much revamping of stuff, so many remakes, so much just like recycled IP stuff out there. And this is such a unique and interesting idea. This is something that you haven't really ever seen done before. It's why it became so big. And so it is just such a tragedy that it was so poorly handled at the end, that there was like no care and attention and thoughtfulness behind it. And it's that's why it makes me so angry, is that you had something so incredible and you like basically spit in our face.
Yeah, and you were talking about it felt rushed. It's not like they actually had to. No. They had 4 years
not only
pretty
did they
much
have
to write this.
4 years, but I cannot imagine that like Netflix wouldn't have given them more time to like, not even more time making it, but more time in the season. You could have made a 20 episode season, yes, and everybody would have watched it.
That's why it's like we got to fit it into 8 episodes and we got to release all 8 episodes. I don't think
that's true.
No, it's not.
There's no way.
They would have had
no way that that's true.
No, they would have been given unlimited resources, basically, unlimited airtime, because I'm sorry, Netflix is going to turn down more money for viewers who stick around. I thought they were going to release things where it was like Volume 1 comes out, and it comes out beginning of December, right, or in November, kind of like it did. Then Volume 2 is like around the holiday season. And then Volume 3, like, they can push it back because that helps them to retain subscribers, people who are paying for their subscription to Netflix. And they were like, we got to release it in a month.
And I'm like, why are you guys doing that?
They got to binge watch these things.
Everything surrounding this situation, to me, like, everything surrounding this final season just seems like horror. Like, I don't understand who was the front runner for all of this and how you like fucked up so bad.
I don't know.
Like, none of it is,
and they know.
And I guess
if you watch interviews,
like, I guess we're not people who are like working in that side of the industry or anything, right? So it's not like we actually have experience releasing a show, but to me it makes no sense at all to approach it the way that they approached it. But
at least from a Netflix, and also like your Netflix's #1 show, you are their #1 property right now. That is their original thing. You're given unlimited resources, and you turn out a project that was so bad that you have the small group or the group of people who are satisfied, but then you have a group of people trying to convince themselves into satisfaction and saying they're tricking us, it's an illusion, and we're getting an extra episode, and it's coming out, and they're doing gymnastics to figure out what the Netflix Twitter or TikTok accounts are doing.
I have something so funny to tell you about this that I actually didn't tell you about. Okay. I forgot to. So I was a believer. I was like a wanting to believer of Conformity Gate,
Right.
right? And I still want, still part of me really wants to believe that
I'm
that's
in the
what's
same
happening,
boat.
you know, because it was so bad, such a letdown that if it could be, it'd be better ending, right?
Yeah.
So I stumbled upon this thing that I showed you. It was the TikTok of they were talking about how Stranger Things used a sound, and the sound was from another Stranger Things account.
Yes.
That wasn't the same
They used
official
it again,
Stranger
by the way.
Things account.
Someone pointed out that they've used it multiple times now.
I think they're like trying to bait everybody.
I think
but
they were
wait,
trolling people.
Well, so here's the thing, right? If you go on the account now, people, because originally they were making like Morse code posts, and they still have them. There's 3. Have you seen the account now?
No,
Oh my God.
Since.
As soon as I literally lost all hope in Conformity Gate as soon as I saw this. The is like some guy from like, I don't even know where, promoting, like he had his in that bio.
Oh my God.
And he all of a sudden posts limited edition Stranger Things colognes.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then also if you swipe over to the music thing in it, it's his song, and it has no relation to.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
he just piggybacked off of it, like getting so much steam, and the actual Stranger Things TikTok account using it. People were all over their page. There were people who must have been monitoring it 24/7. They were like, they changed their bio to this. They're saying this. They're posting a story with a door. They're toying with us. They know this. The French one, the Australian and New Zealand one, like they're posting these bios and doing all for them to finally get there and be like, okay, T-minus 40 minutes until 8 p.m. It should be out. They get past the time, they're like,
oh, I knew nothing was dropping.
There's one account, bless her, she is still trying. She was like, still, after it happened, she's like, guys, if we go here, they said when like blue and yellow meet or something like that, and there was like one picture of a clock that has blue and yellow hands from I don't know where, randomly, and she was like, it's at like 1:26.
Oh my God.
And she was like, so it will come out at like 1:20, and it was like, oh, when blue and yellow meet in the west. So she was like, 1:26 Pacific Standard Time, it's coming out. Just comes and goes. She's just on to the next theory. She doesn't even acknowledge at that point. It's not happening. Conformity Gate is not happening. They had to go so far as they're like, all of Volume 3 is airing right now. That's like their bio, basically. And people are like, Volume 3, it's more than one episode, see? Change it again. All episodes are out and airing. Like, just trying to tell people, we're done.
That's really sad. And like, I know that whatever fucking, hey, go ahead and quote me on this, but you can. I don't even care. I want to be wrong. Please tell me that I'm wrong. I hope I am. But go ahead and quote me. I think that whatever freaking animated thing they're about to release for Stranger Things is going to be like ass. That's my prediction. I'm so sorry. That's my prediction.
Maybe it'll be better because maybe they started being like, this is the finale here, but people are going to want to watch more, so let's just pay more attention to these things.
My prediction is that it will be ass, but please let me be wrong.
I'm going to tell you something that they said in another interview that's going to piss you off.
Okay.
That you should just straight up not say.
Okay.
They basically said, because I don't have it in front of me, so I'm not going to say it verbatim.
Okay.
But the Duffer brothers basically said they're working on other things. They've got the universe with the spin-offs. But it's their baby. It's their cash cow. Will I return? I don't know. Maybe if in 20 years if I'm hurting for money type thing. Like, the idea that they are acknowledging, maybe I'll come back to this if I need some more money or if I need this. Or it's like, it's just this.
Get the fuck away from me.
It comes up that same feeling of, here's your... Yeah.
Don't piss me off.
It's the same idea of like, here's your fodder, eat your slop. And you will, because you're going to like it.
That's why it makes me so mad when people... Okay, this is another thing. This is why I get upset when people are like, actually, I liked it. Yeah. And like, I get it. Okay, if you liked it, that's fine. But the reason it makes me mad is I'm like, why are you so satisfied with so little? Why don't you want more for yourself? You want more for your life. I know you do.
Well, and I've seen people talk about like, oh, it's not that serious. It's like...
Yes, it is.
Well, and it doesn't need to be like the most serious thing in the world to criticize it. It's art. Art is meant to be criticized. It's meant to be critiqued. It's meant to be discussed. It's meant to be...
Bro, I wouldn't even call that art.
Well, but you're putting this out. This is this show. You've had 10 years of people being involved, people who've made it their personality. It's like, if you just go and demolish it and make it into this byproduct of the most basic, cliche, generalized, formulaic, like you said, slop, because you know they're still going to consume it, or you knew everyone was going to tune in and watch the finale. Don't need to pay attention. Oh, it's over now. We made our money. It's done.
They give, like, how do I explain this? To me, they are like the antithesis of an artist. I don't know why they give me that, though, because to say something along the lines of like, yeah, our cash cow, and honestly, even though I didn't even know that they had said that, I got that feeling from them 100% from all the other interviews that I saw. To me, that is the antithesis of an artist, because the whole thing of being an artist is that you wish so bad that you could make a living off of what you love to do most of all, and the things you love to create most of all. Like, it is your ultimate dream. Like, it is my ultimate dream that I would be able to perform like musical theater and like be paid for that.
Yep.
That would be the most amazing thing in the world. That would be incredible, because then I wouldn't even have to worry about anything else.
No.
Like, the dream is like, I wish I didn't even need to have money so that I could just do this as a full-time job. Yeah, you know what I mean?
People would pay for the opportunity to get to write something like this.
Right. And so it's not even to say that, like, it's bad that you're having something that's, like, really, like, paying you a lot of money. Not at all. I think if you've created an incredibly, like, amazing IP, something that a lot of people love, I think it's wonderful that you're making great money from that. You should. You should make great money from the things that you pour your heart and soul into. But that's the thing. You should make great money from the things that you pour your heart and soul into. You did not pour your heart and soul into that. No. You don't have, you're not there.
It felt like we've been writing this for 10 years.
Yep.
And we're ready for the next thing, but this is successful.
That was the same with Game of Thrones, too. Yes. Like, it's basically that same energy.
Which is crazy to me, because I get it, you're writing a script, but with Stranger Things, you didn't even have... Game of Thrones, they at least had the books to start with. Like, they didn't have to come up. This was completely organic, based on, Montauk and the conspiracies. But it was organic. It was new. The characters and everything are new. But it was like they got bored. It was like they got bored and they're like, oh, we have to finish it. Like, we have to wrap it up.
Bored. Like, you had the setup to make something so cool.
Yeah.
And I know we're going in circles, genuinely. But, like, I really want to hear... Sorry, we need to get into the list. So
that's why, because...
Andrew has this, like, very long list.
And this started as... It was all a rant.
Yep.
And that's what we're doing. We're ranting. But I had bullet pointed over the last couple days, leading up to... And the reason we didn't talk about this before is we're like, oh, we should start that podcast we've been talking about. But maybe, because we're both hopeful that Conformity Gate's real, that episode's going to come out.
Please drop a good episode.
Because we just wanted to be satisfied. Yeah. We wanted to be. Yeah. So I was like, if it doesn't come out, we have to. And here's the full list of all the issues I have. Not all of them. There's a lot of issues I have. I would have been satisfied with so much less than, like, perfect.
Yeah.
They just did so many things wrong, as I will say, and as I will show, that even if someone comes in and they argue that one of those points that you made, Andrew, is wrong, they actually did cover that. It wasn't apparent enough, or it wasn't fully fleshed out, that the general audience would have gotten that.
Yeah.
Especially because I have seen people voice similar concerns, similar issues. So we'll get into it.
Yeah.
You can tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, if something happened. But I just feel like they didn't do a good job, that even if something like that did happen, the general audience wasn't picking up on it.
Oh, and I did want to clarify something really quick. We both, like, just in case it wasn't clear, we both really like Stranger Things.
Yes.
Like, we both really enjoy the IP so much and love the universe, love the characters, and everything to do with it, which is why we are both so angry about the ending.
Yeah.
Is because we love the show so much. So I want to make that clear. I am not a Stranger Things hater at all.
We are haters.
I'm a
right
Duffer
now.
Brothers hater. I like Duffer Brothers. Watch your back, man.
You got those goggles right now.
Things.
You're so pissed off. You're the relevancy of the Duffer Brothers right now is literally what's happened in the last month.
And I'm like,
and you're dead to me.
You get.
I don't know if I'm quite
me.
there.
Get away.
Because
yeah, I've said some strong things.
Yes. Well, because you were like, you've been gifted this opportunity.
Like,
you worked for it, but you've been gifted an opportunity people would kill for.
Can you imagine, like, with that setup, what Scott Cawthon would have done with it?
A box that he forgets about. I don't know. It was all. Scott may have come back to the. It was all one D&D game, and then they pull out.
Oh, he totally would have, and it would have been low key cheesy, but at least he would have given us closure.
I'm sorry, but that cheesy ending would have been better than what we got.
Because I low key thought it was gonna be something like that, where they were gonna be like, okay,
I was gonna be like, that's so cliche, so whatever, but it would have been better. I'm not looking for perfect.
I'm just looking for, like, closure and explanation about what the fuck was the Upside Down anyways.
And when you finally decide to grow the balls where you're going to kill off one of your main characters, you don't do the dumbest... We'll get into it.
Okay, just go with your
let's
list.
start.
Go with your list.
So, I'm not even going to touch on all the obvious plot holes or mistakes, right?
Yeah, right.
For those that don't know, Will's birthday. I'm sure you knew. Because it was all over social media.
All right.
Why does Joyce,
his
mother...
I know all about the birthday gate. We know about... Hey, know about birthday gate.
Yeah.
I know about birthday gate. We all know about birthday gate.
Was he 11 or was he 12? One thing says one says the other. The mom says one thing and the...
I love their response to it, too. They're like, I guess... Sometimes things just slip through the cracks. But, people on the internet will never let you get away with anything.
No. And the reporters giving them a free pass. Like,
I can't stand when reporters do that.
Oh, the internet.
They're like, yeah, the internet. Shut up.
They're never satisfied.
Shut the hell up.
They're right.
That makes me so mad.
It's so stupid.
What do you mean? The internet's never satisfied with anything. Yeah. Just go ahead and bounce on it some more, why don't you? Yeah, just go. Okay. No.
Free pass. Collect your 200. Anyways, Malveld's milkshakes.
Milkshakes was crazy. That's a hardware store, buddy.
That is such a dynamic scene. People can have their own opinion on how much time was spent with Will coming out, doing all that. It's integral to the story.
Right.
He needed to do it.
But it's also...
But it's such an important scene. How do you get one of the first main points he says as to why he and his group of friends are...
reminiscing and all this stuff. And also, how are you gonna, It's crazy to me that the coincidences are so strong that it makes it seem like...
Intentional?
Venica.
For those who don't know, we used to have we fostered a bunny named Seneca. Vecna is not connected to Seneca.
I'll show you him.
And for those who don't know, Malveld's milkshakes. Will's, one of his main points is, you and I, my group of friends, we're the same but different. We like the same things. Like going and getting milkshakes from Malveld's, which is a hardware store that hasn't had milkshakes since when Henry was a child.
And so I'm like, oh my God, why the fuck would you do that? Because now it looks like you're basically saying, he's only coming out because... Now I'm... Vecna. This is not Venica. This is Seneca, a bunny that we fostered, and it's why I keep messing up his name. Wait, hold up. Let me get him.
As I'm sure you guys see, the other bunnies bouncing around in the background.
He was the biggest bunny we've ever fostered. He's so good. He's a good man. Anyways, so... the
errors were so...
How are you going to make it look like Vecna is, forcing this boy to come out? And it's like, he's not actually gay.
That's the thing.
It's actually that I, Vecna, am gay and gonna make you seem gay.
Well, and even if it wasn't, even if he's, so fearful that it's gonna be used against him, this is an important moment. It's very good for inclusion. It's been something that's been building up for seasons. And people are, celebrating. He came out. It was so important. why do you want to celebrate that he was forced to come out
Yeah,
by his
that's, like,
abuser,
such a-
by
I
his
didn't even think
kidnapper?
about that, actually. That's such a good point. Like, why are you guys excited that
I'm
this poor
forced to
kid
come out
is being...
because if not, the world's ending and I'm gonna lose my friends over it if they don't die.
That's like not actually... I think it would have been, personally, okay, if I were to write a coming out scene like that, because clear, I mean, closet is class. But like, it's like, did you even need... Okay. But when Will was... if you were going to have Will come out, I think it would have been a much more impactful scene to have him come out only to Mike.
Yeah.
And like, maybe like a couple other people. I think it just would have been a lot more impactful for him to have a discussion with him about it and sort of the struggles of being like, you're my best friend. I don't want to ruin our friendship, but I got to be honest with you about this and I got to talk to you about this. And then like, I guess you could have him come out to other people too, but I just feel like that would be a much more impactful and emotional scene to watch, and also less, like, I don't know, like, icky. Like, having, again, being forced to come out by Vecna is crazy.
By your kidnapper and abuser.
Also, how did we not ever see anything about... Wait,
He didn't reference that. Like, I was partially waiting for Vecna to be like, by the way, guys, he's gay. And they're like, yeah, we already know. We already know. Huh. By the way, are you saying you didn't need Maury or like... You didn't need Murray or the teacher. Sorry, not Maury. Murray or the teacher to be there for his coming out scene?
Why did Callie need to be there? I don't know, but that's what I mean. It's like, like something about it was so like weird to me, where I'm like, why? I don't know. It doesn't seem very realistic to me that like at that time when being gay was a lot less accepted, that he would realistically want to like basically come out to complete strangers. And I get it. You're like, oh, Vecna, he's going to tell them too. But I'm like, why would Vecna go up to Callie and be like, Will, this guy you don't know is gay?
She'd be like, which one is that again? Who is that again? Which guy on my team is that?
Which guy? The bowl cut? Or
the one with the curly hair and like the braces. Like, which one is it?
Which guy is
like... Or the teacher. The teacher has been here for 20 minutes. He's like, someone just moved something with their mind.
To me, yeah.
We have a guy shooting cameras with an assault rifle. And now I'm being told, and that's probably not even the right order in which things happen, because it was like, he still hasn't even seen that.
Yeah. And I'm like, I just feel like you guys really kind of did not do his coming out scene or like anything like that justice.
Which is crazy when you give it like 15
really
minutes of time.
Really, really crazy.
Well, and I thought the whole reason they had that many people there,
yeah,
people pointed it out. If you mirror the 12 children with Vecna, there were 12 people sitting around Will. How do you intentionally do that? Shoot those scenes where they look mirrored. How do you
unintentionally mess up so bad to the point where people actually have a huge leg to stand on to think that Will is having... And then if that is the case, let's just say that there is a Conformity Gate happening, but it's not 7th. It's like, it's off in the future. If that is the case, that also is really bad.
Yes.
Because then you're having this like poor kid who is also gay, but you're having this horrible monster basically
out him
in front of everybody.
Friends.
It's like, wait, none of this is like, this is so messed up.
Well, and to give some perspective also, Will, to the audience, Will has just been shown and told he will be a spy one last time, right?
When did that happen?
That happened like when
the Demodogs or something?
Well,
like
no.
Max?
So when Will, when he gets to Vecna,
okay,
like he's using his powers now,
okay,
and he's fighting Vecna one-on-one,
right,
and he's in Vecna's mind,
right.
He talks to Will directly, gets him back. Remember, you see him, Will, kind of flashing back to when he was younger. And now it's him, and he's getting tubed up with the vacuum hose thing in the mouth, and he's going to be like, you're going to be my spy one last time.
Right.
And it was to find the hospital, and where Lucas was sitting there with...
Is that what that was?
That's why I thought there was going to be more to it, not just, I'm going to send my Demodogs to the hospital to go get them.
I need you to... Actually... we don't have Google Maps up here in the Abyss. I'm gonna need you to go run on down.
I know
to
where
the
Max
Hawkins
is hiding.
Hospital.
Max is hiding somewhere. I know how to get her now. In the real world. I need to know where she is, so I'm going to use you as a spy to figure out where she's at in the hospital to go kill her there. Not any other roundabout way.
Also,
like, it's just...
Baby girl, there's only so many places that she could be. I mean, you know, as
she's been in a coma for
that she's in a
18
coma
months.
right now and been in a coma for 18 months. Homegirl's not going to live if she's not on life support.
She's at the arcade. Shocker. No, like where did you think she'd be? The hospital or home?
There's like literally
It's a small...
two
You're in a
options.
small town.
And also,
in
you
Indiana.
have a complete map of it interdimensionally between your two dimensions. You have a complete map.
He's like, I forgot how to get to the hospital. How will I ever find
That's
her?
what I was saying. Being like, we don't have Google Maps up in the abyss. And it doesn't quite reach in the upside down either. So I'm going to need you to go ahead and
reception's
find
a little
her for
spotty over here. Anyway, kind of getting back on track with the points. The reason why the Malveld's milkshake became such a hot topic was because when you do something so wrong, so intentionally seeming in such a big scene, after Will's just been told he's going to be a spy,
right?
And you're mirroring the 12 kids with the 12, it sure seems like, yeah, he's either in his mind or we've seen the parallels of Will and Vecna and that they're going to be one and the same, and it's like different. They've been mirrored. They've got the powers now. They do the same hand thing when they're like, everybody's sitting there thinking, yeah, Vecna's in Will's mind. They're like one and the same at this point.
Right.
So Henry is speaking through Will, and he's messing up because he's saying things that are true to him, but that he wouldn't know aren't true to Will.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Malveld sells milkshakes. That's what I remember. Surely they still do. No, it's a hardware store. So all the audience goes, that's a weird point to emphasize.
But, like, how do you mess... Like, do you think that they're in the writing room Googling, what is Melville?
Is the hardware store a milkshake? Does the
And then
hardware
Google
store sell
AI
milkshakes?
says some stuff like, well...
Well, it's a general store, right? Not just a hardware store. So maybe they're like...
I guess it's a general store, but, like, do you know many general stores that just are popping out milkshakes?
They got the milkshakes.
I don't think so.
No. I don't think so.
so.
Also, speaking of things that sure seem intentional and happened multiple times and then are pointed out later to be a critical fact, the changing of color of certain items.
Oh yeah, the
dial.
So yes, the dial, but also, what's her freaking name? Holly with the spinny.
The playground on the playground when she's going through the memories with Max.
Yes. Side note:
Yeah.
Why did we get rid of those?
Probably because if a kid like Derek starts spinning you around, the small girl who weighs like 60 pounds doesn't go flying off.
Oh, I was thinking it was because people were getting trapped under them or something.
I don't know if that's possible.
Getting trapped under them?
Under that spinny thing?
Like, as in, like, it's on the ground. And, like, some kid crawls under it. And then they start spinning it. And then, like, tears up their... Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, someone was hiding out there and someone started to spin and they're like, my leg! Maybe.
I feel like that's probably why.
I would not put it past kids to do something like that.
I just wish we still had them. Not for that. I really enjoyed them.
Yeah.
I knew I would enjoy them.
If they have those slides like the one that the cop slid down and goes flying off.
Boston Cops.
That's the Boston
Cop slide. I love that.
That's
video.
far more dangerous, all right?
Yeah, it's true.
So,
Bring back dangerous kid, like, playgrounds. They're way more fun. And they teach you, like, self-regulation.
Yeah. Hey, how to look out for yourself.
Yeah, like, if you make your entire playground bubble wrapped, how are kids gonna, like, learn not to do dumb shit?
Huh?
They won't.
They won't.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, it's just important that Holly walks up to it and she goes,
that's not the same color.
That's normally yellow. And then, like, in the same episodes, we're seeing the dial for the radio station with the electricity go from... like a bluish or like gray, like muted, like a muted color to a bright red on the dial.
By the way, who did that? By the way, who's sitting there being
someone intentionally went to the set and changed the color of it.
Yeah, that's what it doesn't just happen.
No,
it's not like guys, it happened again. It turned red.
Conformity Gate is real. I'll tell you how it's real. We'll save that for the end.
Oh,
because it's not that I'm even just hopeful. I know it will happen. Oh. It has to happen.
Okay.
But not in the way that people think, and not in the reason that people think. But it's all like giving themselves leeway to be wrong.
I feel like what they're gonna say is like, yeah, the entire time the entire thing, it always was Vecna.
It was always Conformity Gate. It was always Vecna.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. We'll get into that. Let's go through these first before we get into what my theory on what we will see play out, okay?
I'm going to be so mad if that's it. Okay, go ahead.
So, also, we're talking about the scene when Max returns.
Right.
Hopper, she didn't know Hopper was alive when she was in a coma.
Right.
You know, he's been gone for years.
Yeah.
And he just shows up and goes, "Hey, kid."
That would have been the easiest scene ever, too, being like, Hopper.
Yeah.
You're alive? Or not even. Like, just be like,
anything.
Like, just some sort of surprise or something.
Hey, who is this guy? Oh, that's Hopper. Oh, I thought he was dead. No.
No, he's not dead.
No, he's not dead.
Like, something. Just, like, give us some sort of acknowledgement. I hate the whole cop-out of, like, well, you didn't necessarily see their first meet, or you didn't necessarily see. It could have happened on
Someone could have just told her, oh, by the way, Hopper's alive.
Like, the whole, well, you didn't see Will getting hurt. You don't know that it didn't happen.
I will touch on that.
Okay, go.
Joyce and Hopper. We now know it was super important that they had this play in high school that they were both in with a lot of the other parents. And guess who else is in that? Henry. And they don't know who Henry is. They're not, like, looking there. Like, I get it. Joyce didn't look at Vecna at the last scene and be like, Henry from high school? But, like... When people, like, they're using his name, they're like, oh, that's Henry Creel. And they're like, Henry Creel of the Creel household when the guy got blamed for being, like, a murderer?
And Joyce is just sitting there like...
Who?
I got big cop, man. He's my boyfriend. Like, what? Girl, come on.
So, you brought up the whole thing of Will not being shown being in pain.
Yep.
During the last scene.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I'm going to talk about Will and Elle, Callie, anyone. Callie's gone at that point, but...
Don't even talk to me about Callie.
It has been so important to the whole plot that it's all a hive mind. Mm-hmm. So much so that even in this, they're fighting the Mind Flayer, which is its own problem after all the buildup. But they're fighting the Mind Flayer, and what is it? Was it Nancy? Just goes, hive mind! Because they figure out we can all just fight it at once. How do you point that out? It's been so much emphasis has been put on that for 4 seasons. You're fighting the Mind Flayer, you're fighting Vecna. Will's not shown to be in pain. When Vecna and the Mind Flayer inherently die, also Will's still not shown in pain, while Vecna's getting his head chopped off. Will's just sitting back there like, wow, Mom, you're cool. No. Shouldn't his powers be dormant after that?
Shouldn't Elle's?
Shouldn't her genome or something be, like, dormant because it had to do with his blood? Like, I know that's not how it works biologically in this, but you're talking about because it's tapping into Dimension X, or it's tapping into, not the Upside Down at this point, like Dimension X, right? And it's the Mind Flayer has... Henry Creel was given the powers from this stone, and he's then given, like, Will's tapped into those powers.
Right.
His power should be gone. And so should Elle. Elle should lose her powers once the Mind Flayer and Vecna die.
Also, okay, this is, like, really off. Like, I'm so sorry. This is just, like, a little thought, okay? Can I give you this little thought? Will you accept it?
Yeah.
Okay, this is this little thought. Do we see Elle struggling with Mind Flayer visions or anything ever?
No, and I think it's because she's... Well, so, and this is where I think that I may have had a point that I'm making, but maybe it wouldn't be entirely right, is maybe Elle, because she's got Henry's blood, and that's what's given her powers. And Henry's powers come from the Mind Flayer, and they're tied together. Henry has been known to be a vessel, right? They're like... So
she's not necessarily a vessel. And I understand that. But I guess what I'm trying to say with that is not that that's necessarily wrong or can't be true. I guess my problem is that's never really explained. I guess, like, none of that is ever really touched on, and I feel like that is something kind of like, well, what is the distinction between those two, and why do we never get clarity?
She wasn't a vessel for the Mind Flayer or for Henry, but Henry is considered somewhat of a vessel for the Mind Flayer. So wouldn't anyone who has those powers and basically the black smoke that we see pop out of these kids at the end, wouldn't that, because that's all that goes into Henry. So for Henry to get his powers, he's inhaled this black smoke, and all the kids who are vessels have also inhaled this black smoke. So it's like, continuity wise, you would think they're all technically vessels,
right?
But what's the difference between being a vessel and just having your
powers?
DNA changed to have the powers?
But that's like, the other thing is, I'm like, well, is the blood thing legitimate? Because, like, what about, so am I wrong with their interaction? Because they interacted when she was really young.
Yes,
right?
She is a kid in the facility.
Right. Wasn't there something about their interaction that, like, triggered some of her powers or something?
Well,
or is that wrong? That might be completely
it's
wrong.
Not necessarily that he interacts with her, so before then, even though she had the blood, like, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
They're trying to find which kid it successfully works with.
Right.
She's having trouble.
Right.
He kind of takes her under his wing because he just feels like an attachment to her, and the rest of the kids are bullies to her, and like he's witnessing it, so he's trying to coax her into using the powers the right way while he's concocting this plan.
Right.
Her unlocking like her powers to a fuller ability are when she sends him through into Dimension X.
Okay.
As a child.
Yeah.
Just blasts him into a hole in the wall. But it's their interaction that like pisses her off enough to kind of like, it's kind of dormant.
So she's the one who caused that rift then, right? Is that the running thing?
Yes.
So then
he does not, well, he has powers. Because here's with the idea that it all was there from a stone, and that's how he got the powers.
That's what I'm saying, is like the stone is confusing me, because I'm like, okay, genuinely, where did this stone come from? How in the world did you get it if the upside down
because we didn't see the play.
Wasn't around yet.
We didn't see the play.
No.
The upside down's not around yet because the upside down freezes on November 6th, right? Henry is born without powers. The powers he gets from the stone, this, like, I think it's supposed to be an asteroid or something like that. Something that the government has or scientists have.
Asteroid.
And whatever it is, that stone that's in the briefcase.
Okay.
When he's in the mine. So that means the powers and the Mind Flayer in Dimension X predate Henry. He inhales the black smoke from the stone. Now he has powers. Now the Mind Flayer, and this is how I know that they're supposed to be vessels. It is said and shown, Henry, that wasn't you. You aren't violent. You aren't killing to kill, right? He's so scared about the cave scene because I get shot, I get hurt, and I didn't want... he starts sobbing because he killed the scientists after getting shot by him. And so after that, it's shown that, like... And I'm pretty sure it's said in the play, because before this I was trying to understand... Canonically, the play exists. We haven't seen it. I want to know the information. That the Mind Flayer was forcing Henry. Like, he didn't know he was killing the animals or he was doing any of that. And the Mind Flayer was, like, tapping into him and using him like a vessel.
Right.
So, again, are they vessels or are they not?
And then
why is L not?
Yeah, what is L?
So...
And what is Callie?
And they just have his blood, but his blood only exists as a powerful thing because of the Mind Flayer's black smoke that
But then
turns
why
him into a
would
vessel.
she still have her powers at that point?
We're running in circles
that's
here
what
because I agree with you.
I guess I'm trying to figure out is I'm like, that's just so poorly explained of like, why would she still have her powers at this point if the Mind Flayer... And that's the other thing is that I'm pretty sure after the Mind Flayer is dead, doesn't she then throw him onto the spike?
Yeah.
So
Well, because they're supposed to die at the like they're one and the same, right? They're like connected.
I guess, but
We see it that I guess it's like the Mind Flayer's dying, and we kind of see them fighting the Mind Flayer. I don't think it happens before.
right.
I think they're still fighting, and the Mind Flayer is somehow losing because they have the power of friendship on their side. Like the Mind Flayer after 4 seasons.
Yeah, let's talk about Let's talk about that for a second, because what do you mean
ridiculous.
that? First of all, even if the Mind Flayer was horrifically easy to beat, how the fuck are you not going? Sorry, let me calm down. How in the world are you not going to give us any explanation as to what the fuck that is? What the hell? Sorry.
No,
How are you not going to give us any explanation for what that is?
You're gonna get 5 minutes of this big spider thing, and you're gonna like it.
And I didn't like it. Can I be honest? I didn't like the spider.
They struggled worse.
I was like,
with the one in the
okay,
mall.
wanna
The
be
meat.
Marvel.
What is it? We'll call it the meat flayer.
Okay, want to be Marvel?
Yeah.
No.
And the
get
reason
out.
why it's so important, going back to your point as to why Elle should have lost her powers.
Yeah.
The whole point of why Elle, spoiler alert again if you don't know at some point, or if you don't know at this point what happened, I don't know why you're watching still, but Elle dies. She's the only...
Nah, she maybe dies.
She maybe dies. We're going to leave it up to ambiguity because we don't even want to stick with that.
They can't, they're pussyfooting around so much.
So
they
bad.
can't even like sit on the...
Own it.
Elle's dead.
Own it. Yep.
Fucking, if Elle died.
Yep.
Then let her die.
And it's happened every time. Hopper's dead. Where is he?
He's not
No.
dead.
And the one time you see her supposed to die off on screen where you're like watching it, she just kind of gets blown away with the wind.
You know...
You never see her again. But the reason it's so important that her powers are probably dormant at that point is her whole reason for stepping back in and killing herself with the Upside Down is... Right.
He just bit the water
He
bowl.
bit the water bowl.
Okay.
The whole reason why it's so important that her powers are dormant is her stepping in and dying and going down with the ship, basically, that is the Upside Down and Dimension X and in the wormhole, is that Callie told her, your blood still exists, and it's still got the powers. So even if Henry's dead, they're still going to try to use you to impregnate more women with your blood.
Even if you run away, even if you do all
they'll
of
always
this,
hunt you.
they'll always hunt you down, which is why it doesn't make any sense. Like, even that... It doesn't make any sense. No. It makes no sense at all.
Nope. And I would have redone all of those last scenes when the military pulls up and everything, and oh no, how's she gonna get away? Redo it. Don't, if you're gonna have her die, have her die a different way.
Yeah.
Don't listen to Callie, who is already to decide to bring her back. We're jumping too far because I know I have in here the issue.
Go ahead to the next part because we're off track.
Because I know we'll say it right now because I won't talk about it if it does pop back up. But why do you bring Callie back? If she was already Callie was so disliked, even if it was more of like I just don't like those episodes compared to the rest.
Yeah.
She was just not that important.
No.
To the point that you say she's going to be this integral that Elle dies because of what she says and Elle's going to believe her over Hopper and Mike. Moving on from Elle as a vessel, all the other issues, even The Rock predating Henry, so they wouldn't have to sacrifice themselves. I talked about like staying true to the characters you've written for 4 years. Mike's character.
Yeah, I don't know
this season.
What's up with that man? He's got the personality of like a cardboard in this season. I don't understand.
He's nearly irrelevant.
They CGI'd a tear on his face. Like that's how disconnected he was to his character in this season.
He didn't even like really have a reaction when Will comes out.
I don't even want to blame Finn for it. Like I don't, because honestly, if you're given that shitty of a script and they're like, I want you to cry in this scene, and he's like, literally like, what the fuck am I even crying over at this point? Because genuinely, like, I'm like, I feel no connection to these characters.
No.
Because I'd be like, damn, this is Bodhi.
In interviews, you have Millie Bobby Brown talking about, that's how my character's supposed to... what if we do the... Like, there have been so many instances of hearing about how the actors had to be like, what if we rewrite this to do this? Because it was worse than even what we saw.
That's crazy.
So, I don't know how Finn is supposed to be like, yes, this scene
Not to
is going to
mention,
kill my character.
they made such a big stink about him saying "I love you" to her, and guess what he didn't even do in their very last moments together? Didn't even say "I love you," and then they had the most uncomfortable kiss ever with zero chemistry.
Which they almost didn't. It seemed like they weren't going to do.
They were like,
he hugs her, and you go, not even going to kiss her? You said that out loud. You're like, you're not, because they held the hug, and you're like, she's about to die. She's sacrificing herself. And it's one-on-one.
Yeah.
You're given this moment in
I
the void.
don't care if people are around. I'm about
How
to die.
are they in the void when the kryptonite sonic things are happening? How would she be able to do that? She wouldn't.
Know.
Anyway, yeah, you know she's about to die, and you go, I'm going to give you a hug right now. Bye. Then he gives her a kiss, and you're like, okay, well, it's
awkward.
that.
Like, can I just say, I'm so sorry. I just don't think that Finn and Millie have, like, chemistry.
Which you could have looked at it in two different ways, saying, like, it's awkward because they're kids and they're, like, super...
No.
Or you could have said, no, that they don't have... They've clearly had some issues as a couple.
I guess.
In the past seasons. So, sure, maybe they're not the best in having chemistry. But, man, it felt weird.
Something that felt really off about that kiss. It just, like, didn't seem natural. It was almost like they did it in one take. And maybe they do, because honestly, they had a lot of chemistry in earlier seasons, and even in like the more recent
interviews,
ones.
they have chemistry.
Yeah, they have great chemistry. Oh, low key, just gotta put this out there. I don't know why, but low key, I feel like Finn and Sadie Sink for some reason. They kind of have a lot of chemistry. They kind of have a lot of chemistry.
Sadie Sink tends to have a lot of chemistry with a lot of her castmates.
Yeah. She seems very, like, personable.
There's a couple people in this where there was some acting tying into how it just didn't seem like people have chemistry, and you're like, they're better actors than this.
Yeah.
There's some characters where I'm like...
I mean, even her and Lucas.
Lucas, yeah.
That was weird, because, like, I feel like they have good chemistry, but for some reason I was like, why are you guys doing these kisses in one take and not doing a second take? Like, I know that you're not, like gnawing at the bit to, like, kiss a bunch or whatever, but also it's like, you know, that really looked, like, fucking awkward.
It was weird.
Like, really awkward. Or, sorry, like, freaking awkward. I don't mean to keep cussing, sorry.
Yeah. Well, and there's a couple actors in these shows that when moments are awkward, or the takes are bad, or something's said that just feels off, and you're like, that wasn't a good take. How many
takes did you guys do?
Well, they're good actors where I'm like, if Sadie Sink has a bad scene or a bad line or something, that's not on her. That's on the direction.
She's a very good actress.
She's a great actress.
I think.
Anything,
I think she's
her,
a great actor.
Hopper, Joyce, Winona Ryder, like they're all great actors. Mm-hmm. When something's off and you're like,
yeah,
that's direction.
That's direction. Oh, and that's real though. I mean, any actor will tell you. You can be a wonderful actor, but if your director is really bad, you're going to be in a bad spot. Yeah. Like, you can only be as good as the creative team around you in a lot of cases, and especially with the director. Yep. I mean, because you can't watch yourself. I mean, you can, but you can't.
Not
like
in
the
time.
moments,
yeah.
Like when you're like in the moment shooting something, it's like you're not going to pause and go look at it.
Did that come across?
Yeah,
right.
No. The director's there to tell you, hey, actually, let's redo that.
Yeah.
That was really awkward.
No one said that to Mike. Finn doesn't redo that. Mike doesn't. No one told Finn. You know what? Let's try one where you say, "I love you."
Can I just say, Loki, I don't even feel bad. Like, or sorry, wait, no, I do kind of feel bad for people who were shipping.
Byler.
Will and Byler.
That's the name for Will and Mike.
Oh, yeah, like that were shipping Byler, because I'll be honest, they seemed like they had more chemistry, and also they totally did do a bait and switch on that last episode. That was so weird to be like, yeah, well, we're not going to be friends. Best friends.
Oh, sure.
Like, I literally was like, are you...
You can support your friend. You can support your friend and make it known to him that you're supporting him. Like, you could make it known to him that you're supporting him and not do a pause and say, not friends. Best friends.
Can you imagine?
I know they held their breath. They said, not friends. Not
I know, because I did. I held my breath. I was like...
Oh, they are. They're doing this.
Oh, my gosh.
Right.
But, like, how... Can you imagine coming out to your friend and you're like literally feel like you're gonna shit your pants. You've been best friends with this person your entire life, and you come out to them, and then you're like, so we're still gonna be friends? And then they're like, not just friends, best friends. I mean, fuck you, man. What the fuck is your problem? I'd literally be like, fuck, what? Why would you say that? I don't know. That would piss me off.
That one was dumb.
That was stupid. I get why they're mad. I'm like, shit. Yeah. That was that, and also their chemistry in the last 2 seasons has actually been tense.
Yeah, there's been a lot of tension.
Like there's been a lot of tension between them.
Where
I'm like,
it doesn't
I get why you guys
be...
are seeing that.
Yeah.
I see that.
It may not necessarily be romantic.
No.
But you could write it that way if you wanted to.
Yeah, you could have.
But you know what they did instead? He shows up, doesn't say I love you. And then... Yeah, I know.
Oh my god. Alright, Sage.
He has a chance to say goodbye. Mm-hmm. One-on-one. Doesn't say I love you. Which completely negates what happened in season 4. His whole story arc from then. And then when she does die, this whole thing of he's trying to cope.
Yeah.
That's just what he did with season 1.
Yep.
He was just... It's just learning the same levels of acceptance and coping of loss. Like, he thought Elle died before.
Yep.
This time he thinks she died again. And it's like, I know he can deal with it again, but also as an audience...
It's just not satisfying.
We've seen this already.
Yeah, we've watched this already. Guys, what the fuck are we doing? And like, low key, when I saw Hopper shoot the thing, you know what I'm talking about, when like he's in his like imagination and he shoots Elle on accident. Tank? I thought that was gonna be like one of the better moments of the show, where I was like, oh my god, they actually did that.
Well, yeah, because in real time you go, oh shit, and I sat there, I said, I didn't expect them to do this.
Yeah, no.
And I'm like, oh my god.
And then for them to be like,
30 seconds later, she's not actually got bullet holes, and we're like, and then, by the way, for the audience who doesn't know, the Duffer Brothers' explanation why this was my next point.
Okay.
So it works as a perfect transition. The Demogorgons, Demodogs, Demobats, Doug Demodomes, they weren't there.
No, they weren't.
In the finale.
That is actually probably my biggest gripe with the finale.
Yeah.
Like, actually my biggest gripe.
One thing.
What the fuck?
It should be your epic finale.
Didn't know that they were going to be there. Vecna was caught off guard.
That is what the Duffer Brothers said in an interview. They snuck up on Vecna. Vecna, the guy who's been in their heads. Vecna, the guy who's
still in their heads, by the way.
But still in their heads. That's what's happening. That's why we're here right now. Conformity Gate. It's happening. By the way, 30 minutes ago, he was in Hopper's head, making him think he killed Elle.
Yeah.
So how did they sneak up on him?
Yeah, such a good point. What do you mean, snuck up?
If you really wanted...
They're literally in... Like, Elle has to be close to you for it to happen.
She's right by the gate.
She's right by the gate. What do you mean you didn't know she was there? Yes, you did. And what do you mean? It takes a little while for me to poop out some more Demogorgons. And I didn't really think to do that before. And the Demobats, they were only there to kill Eddie. And the Demodogs...
Yeah, that was their whole point. The Duffer Brothers also, it wasn't like, oh, you said they didn't poop any more of them out. The Duffer Brothers straight up said... Oh, yeah, they naturally exist. Like, in another interview, they naturally exist there. They're like the henchmen, but, like, they existed in Dimension X before he got there. So they should just be all over the place. They're nowhere in Dimension X. Especially not with their leader, who's the 5-star general. They just don't exist there, all of a sudden.
What?
And the Duffer Brothers said, oh, they're probably off somewhere else, because Vecna didn't expect... I'm sorry. No one's expecting someone to get, like, right now we're going to have someone come through the front doors.
No, but he did expect them.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
So what do you mean?
Because why would the frickin'... What do you mean?
You've
so
been
even if you're
gearing
going to
up
say
for
that
this.
they didn't expect them, they rammed a radio tower into the abyss. What do you mean you didn't... You can't get the Demogorgons can move at a speed of like what Mach 5? Like
we've seen them run across Hawkins, where you were like, oh my god, they're moving so fast.
Is Mach 5 fast?
Mach 5 is fast, yes.
What's like the fastest?
you can keep increasing in Mach speed.
Is
so
there
Mach
like
10
infinite
is-
Machs then?
Theoretically, I suppose.
How fast does Assassination Classroom? Oh, what's his name?
I feel like they say that at
Is
some
it Mach
point.
7?
I think they say at some point he's moving at
What's his name again?
Koro
Sensei.
Koro Sensei.
Yes. Sorry, that was so random. It's an anime, y'all. If you don't know, and I don't know why Mach, like the speed,
You're like,
is
that
tied
was the
to
first thing.
Assassination Classroom for me. But whenever I say like, oh, Mach 7, I'm like, damn, that show is good because it's a good show. If you haven't watched it, please go watch it. It's very good.
Agreed.
It's very, very good.
But if you're not expecting attack, usually if you're at your base, there's still a couple guards around, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's been gearing up where he's hiding 12 children in vacuum cleaners, like tubes, inside of this vessel, and he doesn't have a couple standing watch.
Yeah.
While he's he's up in the air, also plugged in.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm kind of like
Bad explanations.
if they just exist naturally, why do they exist naturally?
Well, that was... People were hoping we'd get an explanation of what the Mind Flayer is, why it exists.
What the fuck
is
are the
Dimension X
Demogorgons?
just another planet?
No.
Well, it is if it's an asteroid, right?
Oh, I guess it is.
So, we didn't get an explanation.
Anything goes. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Because guess what?
Well, that's what they said. They shrugged their shoulders and they said, hey, they're out there.
It's up to interpretation. See, this is the one thing that like pisses me off about them. They're doing it because they're lazy as shit or their brains aren't like firing enough or something. I don't know. That's so mean.
You're angry.
I'm mad.
That's
I'm
okay.
mad. They're not. Their synapses aren't like connecting where they need to be. That's still mean, but I'm still gonna say it. So that's the Duffer Brothers' problem, in my opinion. Either they don't care, or they like frankly are like not. Or I'm sure they would have the ability to. It's not to say that they don't. That they're just flat dumb. It's to say they are intentionally widening the gap between their synapses. That's what I mean.
Intentionally.
There's an intentional...
We don't want to make a connection here.
Yep. So I guess lazy is the answer.
Yeah.
That's the difference between them and somebody like Scott. Scott, I think, gets so passionate about his IPs.
He jumps over
He
synapses.
just jumps to different synapses.
He's like, his synapses are
We're
firing
talking about
too quick.
Five Nights at Freddy's, for those of you who don't know. I love that like you kind of have to know all the different IPs to...
The lores that weave into your mind.
Because, yeah.
We'll talk about FNAF.
We'll get there.
We will
there'll be
in
an
a different episode.
Trust.
Well,
There'll be lots of episodes. Because he's not getting off scot-free either.
No.
I love Scott, but he's not getting off scot-free.
No. Bringing it back.
Sorry.
It's okay. Bringing it back to that final fight, though, right? We've been told for 4 years. Well, first year we're like, the Demogorgon's crazy. Mm-hmm. What's bigger than
like
that?
who the hell's able
we
to
see
beat
the
that?
meat flayer, and we
The
know that
meat flayer.
That's the name for the one in the mall.
That's the name of the one in the mall. I didn't know
what we
that.
call
Wait,
it. So
why did I not know
the meat flayer? That one they had such trouble with that when they were all together, like minus Hopper and Joyce and like who.
Wait, I'm so sorry. Is the meat flayer Billy?
No, it killed Billy.
It killed Billy?
It killed Billy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the one.
Okay. Sorry.
He may have been flaying some
Billy
meat, all right? That dude, Billy is the meat flayer. Maybe not in the way that you think, all right?
Thank you, Sage. He
Thank you,
moved the
Sage.
cord for you.
I saw that. I noticed.
Okay.
But yeah, they've built up to this, right?
Yeah.
They've struggled with all these other smaller battles, but here's the Mind Flayer that we have established is the craziest, worst monster. Took him 5 minutes to kill that thing with slingshots.
I thought it was 12 minutes. Was it 5?
Oh, I was saying that as hyperbole. Like,
oh, okay. I'm pretty sure the actual time is literally 12 minutes.
12 minutes of cutting back and forth of people. Like, there's the Mind Flayer going after L jumping at it to when it's dead. 12 minutes. It took episodes to kill the Mind Flayer.
The meat flayer?
The meat flayer, sorry. The Mind Flayer takes 12 minutes.
Who cooked up that name?
That's right. I don't think that's the official name, but it should be. But
you got to meet my buddy, the Meat Flayer.
The Meat Flayer.
You got to talk to him.
Mrs. Wheeler. Mrs. Wheeler knows about the Meat Flayer.
Mrs.
All right.
You want to talk about something fucked up? This is also why I don't really have a lot of remorse for saying shitty things about the Duffer Brothers. Just saying. The thing they said about talking about Billy, somebody who would have been 17 years old, hooking up with an adult woman, saying that it would be really hot. They literally said that.
That's a weird way to describe that, as being
they were talking about a 17-year-old kid, minor, that's a minor, hooking up with a, 40-year-old woman?
Probably 40.
40-year-old woman as very hot, and that they wanted to see that.
Also, we didn't need you to say that. We got that from your writing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, clearly. I don't know. Sorry, we got a bunny cafe. This is
cameos from Sage.
Come here, CG. Come on.
A little cameo from him.
You can. Oh, here we go. Welcome to the bunny cafe. Thank you for visiting. Basil, here's your bunny cafe. All right. Thank you for visiting the bunny cafe. You can have one little piece more, and then that's it. Because, kiss. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you for visiting the bunny cafe. We are closed for the day. Yes. Yes, thank you.
He's such a good listener.
He is a good listener.
He's really not, but he kind of is.
No, he's not a good listener at all.
So, that final fight. Slingshots. Some... Who thought it was a good idea to run under it with some bayonets?
I don't know. It could have just, sat.
It died. If you win and it dies on you.
Yeah.
You die too.
Yeah.
Because you wanted to stab it?
At least,
It's at least 100 pounds.
It's got to be at least 50.
At least.
At least 50. And that's a lot of weight.
That's a lot of weight. I'm sorry. I get that you have, a flamethrower or whatever, but this thing's the size of a small mountain.
It would be kind of like burning somebody's arm with, a match.
Yeah.
It would be like holding a match under somebody's arm. I don't know. If somebody's really, I would imagine that the Mind Flayer is probably, in my headcanon, the Mind Flayer is sort of, probably on, fentanyl, a human on fentanyl. That's the level of, non-feeling they are.
Yeah.
He's not going to give a shit. I know that they don't like fire, but a little match. I mean, obviously, if you took a blowtorch to somebody who's on fentanyl, they're gonna react. But
yeah.
I think if you take a little match and you hold it to somebody
while they're fent posing,
I don't think they're gonna react.
They might not.
I don't know why that's the correlation in my mind, but that's the correlation.
He's also got a lot going on, and I get it, right? Well, there's so many things. I'm getting shot at. Mm-hmm. I'm doing this. Mm-hmm. Someone's hitting me with a...
somebody's, throwing little beads at you.
Yeah, the slingshot. This thing would, it's the size of a small mountain, basically.
Yeah.
We see that in the landscape that is Dimension X. So how is it just being oh, look, an ant, right?
Also, how is its aim so bad?
Its aim is so bad.
Let's be real.
You have so much square footage, and you can't...
Also, it comes across in every other way. This is what is so confusing to me, too. The Mind Flayer, as an entity, comes across as if it would, in all the seasons leading up to this, come across as if it was a knowing, intelligent, conscious, scheming entity, right?
Yeah.
So why the hell is it acting just a really big, animal?
Yeah, that's rampaging after you, following around, getting tricked.
There's no... method to the madness with it. Nope. It literally is coming across a big animal. Guys, I thought this thing was scheming.
And it didn't really look exactly like the smoke version of itself.
No, it didn't. It didn't look like the Mind Flayer. I still think the Mind Flayer is probably still out there, and that was just his buddy.
I'll get there.
Oh.
No, I know you don't know my theory, but I'll get there. No, underwhelming, right? Underwhelming fight.
Right.
Underwhelming Mind Flayer.
Right.
I get it. He's hive mind with Vecna. And Vecna's also. Mind. But Vecna's getting his ass beat by Elle. Took her 5 minutes to absolutely whoop up on him.
And I thought that Vecna was real big bad.
Yes. He got shocked by her when they were when she threw him through that rift,
Yeah.
he was shocked. He didn't expect it. He just thought, I'm just going to, you're a child. I'm just going to basically push you over.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm so pissed. And he's like, oh shit, okay. Now he knows.
Yeah.
And he's been preparing.
Yeah.
And his powers have been getting more powerful.
Yeah.
Still. Ass beat in 5 minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter.
So bad.
So bad. Yeah, that bothered me. The reason I knew the time was because I was talking about this with Akira, and he was also really upset. Akira's one of my friends from Beast Games, and he was like, he also was actually really upset, which I didn't expect from him. Akira is somebody who typically really likes like a good amount of superhero media and like Marvel media, and like I would think that somebody who enjoys a lot of recent Marvel, and by recent I mean like
post Endgame.
Yeah, like post Endgame stuff. Yeah. I would think anybody who sort of enjoys that would probably look at this season and be like, I can stomach this. I like this. I think this is good. Not to say anything about that. Not taking a stance or anything on anything. But yeah, that's why I thought that he was going to be kind of like, I
was satisfied.
Yeah, I was satisfied with it. No, he also really didn't like it.
Good for him.
Yeah, he was like, no,
that should tell you as much as you need to know.
Yeah,
he's mild mannered, and he's like, yeah, it's
and
fine.
He's like somebody who's, and that's not, again, it's not even a thing. He's somebody that's generally like pretty positive about things. Like Akira is somebody that will see the good in a lot, and he's not somebody to typically talk negatively about something easily. That's sort of more what I mean, right?
At most, I would have expected him to be like, I didn't really like it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I would expect from him too, or something like, well, there were definitely weak parts, but this scene was really epic, or this scene was really epic, and I really liked this character and this and that. And he literally said, he was like, yeah, they didn't kill enough people. Which is crazy coming from him.
It's true. And the Duffer brothers were like, this is gonna be the darkest Christmas. It's gonna be so sad. Yeah. We're gonna kill off so many people. It's gonna be the most gory deaths.
Yep.
Where?
It's gonna be a dark Christmas, guys.
Yeah.
Where was... It's kind of like... Not to throw this in here. It's kind of like when Nintendo says some bullshit like, Tears of the Kingdom is gonna be the darkest Zelda game yet. And then they give us this absolute tragedy of a game. Tears of the Kingdom.
That's another episode. That's another episode. We will talk about
I'm just such a hater. There's media that I like, I promise.
Yes.
It's just like...
There's positivity. She likes things.
And when I do like something, I really like it.
She loves it.
I love it. Because
she's got its back.
I'm trying to think of something I like.
Well, like when people... Because a lot of people like Breath of the Wild, but there were people who were like, Breath of the Wild's not a Zelda game, and you're like, no, this is a Zelda game through and through, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, I know that its weaknesses. I know it has weaknesses. Okay, there are things that I am critical of about Breath of the Wild, but I love that game. I think it's wonderful.
We should also show someone you didn't need it to be perfect on everything.
No. Yes, hear ye. I don't need something to be perfect for me to really like it. I love Five Nights at Freddy's. I love all of the FNAF games. Well, yes, I love FNAF as a franchise so much. And like, it is so far from perfect. But that's okay. I don't need it to be perfect. No. It's wonderful. And we'll explain all of this kind of stuff as to like why.
Yeah.
And there's reasons why. There's reasons. I don't need you to be perfect, but I need you to fucking try.
I
need you to try, and I need you to be passionate about what you're doing.
And just when you try and you give a damn, people are going to like it.
It comes through.
We talked about Kali.
Ugh. Don't even look at me.
For those who don't know, I will quickly cover that Kali was a complete missed opportunity as being the traitor and the actual big bad because of what D&D lore says Kali is.
Yeah, and usually they're pretty consistent about the D&D lore does this, so this is what happens. Like, they telegraph a lot of stuff in the show with D&D characters and D&D things.
The only thing they didn't do was have, like, Mike go, your name's Kali? And, like, kind of give us, like, a look of suspicion. Being like, I know that from D&D.
Or, like, Mike.
What did I say? Will?
Yeah.
Okay, or Mike.
Yeah, Mike would have been the one to... And they also didn't ever, like,
Dustin.
bring it back to... They never brought it back to Mike being the DM, which I thought that would have been really cool if they had done that.
That would have been... And that's why I will say that was kind of my theory, is that
Mike
has a bigger part, and he's the DM, and he's...
And that somehow him telling the story and, like, giving people roles and saying things...
That was his power.
That was his power, and that was, like, making things happen.
But that should go to say...
Cool. Whatever.
Like, that should go to show you, just because my theory, or what I wanted to happen, didn't happen, that's not what determines if I like it or not.
Oh, no, not at all. Like, because honestly, I really liked that idea, but also I was like, I would be low-key kind of disappointed if I figured it out. I don't want to be able to figure it out.
Or if I do, I want it to be... Like that would have been fine. But again, you could have killed everybody. Could have killed nobody. And just done it differently. I would have been satisfied. I would have been happy. I would have said, good job. How did you manage to bob and weave your way through all the good possibilities and come out with, like, arguably one of the worst?
And how is it that, like, the stakes never felt high? Like, one thing that's so important from, like, an actor's perspective is having high stakes. Like, whenever we talk about making something a good scene, an important scene, or something that's worth watching, that's the biggest thing, right? Is that as actors, we want to create a character and moments that are worth watching from an audience's perspective, right? Yep. And one of the best things I was ever taught, and something that's taught, I think, every single time I've done any kind of acting class, is what are your stakes? Yeah. What are your character's stakes right now? And it's always also talked about how the stakes need to be high. Yeah. You need to have high stakes. And if you don't have high stakes for your character that you're playing, it's not going to be interesting to watch. And
the audience will know.
The audience knows, and it's very, very true, because when there aren't high stakes, what's the point?
If there were high stakes, they wouldn't have had to CGI a tear on Mike's face.
That's my thing, is that as an actor, it's like, you feel that too.
Yes.
You feel and it's why when you're acting and you're given a script where in the script they don't give you a lot to go off of for stakes, and you're having to, like, really come up with it yourself, it's hard. It makes it less, I think it makes it less enjoyable. And maybe some other actors have different perspectives on that, where they're like, well, I really like to be able to create my own character's stakes, but I really prefer it when the script and story lends itself to the stakes already being there, so that you're not having to, like, really cook up something in your brain. And that's basically what it seemed like to me. And I know that's sort of a tangent to go on, but I do think it's really important in illustrating why this was such a weak finale and weak season. It just felt like there weren't a lot of stakes, especially in the finale.
Yes.
And I think never felt like there were stakes.
And I think people were waiting on it.
Yeah.
They waited 4 years. They're like, we kind of felt stakes in the first season because we think Elle dies. And then we're like, but surely not. If they bring it back, she'll be back. So we understand the kid's not dying then. But then Hopper, you kind of think Hopper dies at a certain point, and he doesn't.
I felt like there were actually very good stakes throughout the first four. Like, first 4 seasons. Even, like, when some of the stuff did get, like, weaker here and there were still high stakes. But there just weren't any.
Stakes were so low that they freeze-framed black screened, thinking, no one thinks we're going to kill Steve. But everybody thinks we're going to kill Steve.
Is that, like, I literally was sitting there, like, deadpan face watching Steve off the side. I was like, they're not going to do it. And they're not going to, and if they do kill him in such a stupid moment, I'm actually going to be upset.
That's the thing. If they were going to kill him, it wasn't going to be that
bullshit moment to die on, too.
Yes.
Like,
he got thrown from the top.
Like, he would need a hero's moment to go out on. That's why I also knew they weren't going to kill him in that moment, because it's like, if you were going to kill him, you would have had to give him a hero's send-off.
Yeah, he would have sacrificed himself for the 6 kids that he wanted, the 6 nuggets.
That's what Andrew kept saying. He kept saying the 6 kids, like, sacrificing himself for the 6 kids.
And they brought that point back up. He said it previously. Nancy brought that back up, and I'm like, and we now see the kids. We can all be like, there's 6 of the kids there. This is his...
That's what's going to happen.
He never has his hero's moment, and that's fine. You keep him alive. But, like, whatever. If you were going to do it, I knew it wasn't because he fell from a radio tower.
Also, how are you going to telegraph you die, I die? How are you going to telegraph that? And, like, there was so much stuff that they set up for that they were just like,
well, that's why I did think maybe, I was like, you die, I die. so let's both run under the mind flare. And I was like, if they die from this because they win and it falls on them, I'm also going to be pissed.
Like, you know what it's kind of like? It's almost as if the Duffer brothers, they ended up accidentally telegraphing and foreshadowing a whole bunch of stuff that wasn't going to happen because they just kept stealing tropes they've seen, like, people's, like, say in, like, Marvel or, like, other, like, movies and stuff where they were like, oh, I like that. I'm going to use it here. And then they accidentally telegraph, like, a whole
something
thing.
that they didn't intend.
Yeah, that's, like, genuinely what it seems like, though, where you die, I die. And instead of that being, like, the lead up to a moment where there's, like, a heart-wrenching, like, oh, I have to, like, somebody's keeping me from being able to be the you die, I die situation, and I'm going to be forced to live, and you're dying, and I'm basically going back on my word, and he dies. Instead of that, they're just like,
Nope. Yeah, I was waiting for something to happen where Steve sacrificed himself and Dustin can't be there with him.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking that was leading up to. And it's not even a thing where they're subverting expectations. It's like, no, they just, like, said that because fucking whatever. Like, oh, I just felt like saying
And
that.
it makes sense for their character because Dustin is saying that because he doesn't want to lose somebody. But Steve's whole thing is I will protect you.
Yeah.
Because you're like my little brother at this point. You're my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I care about these kids. But you're my best friend.
Yep.
I am not letting something... It's not a hero moment.
No.
It's I'm protecting you because I love you.
Yeah.
Not trying to be the hero.
Because I will say one of the moments that did kind of get me was the whole, like... Because there were some moments that I did think were, like...
They had good moments. Yeah.
Not to say that everything was terrible. I don't even want to say that, though. Because, like, it made me... Whatever. There, like, the scene where Dustin and Steve kind of make up in the Goopville, I liked it up until the point where the ladder fell.
Yeah, that was too
so
much. Like, guys, hey, audience.
And look, he would have died.
He would have died.
Oh my god.
We understood
God.
that the risks were there.
Yeah, you don't have to, like, show it. I don't... What the... Like, of the
It
thing...
felt like Toy Story when you see Woody or Buzz and they're like this thing and then they look and they're like, oh. Like, maybe a kid's watching this and they're not going to understand that's why he's saying this.
They don't do that, though. That's
no,
the
they
thing.
don't.
Like,
they don't think their audience
writing.
is stupid. They think their audience is smart. They used to, at least.
That's kind of the thing, right? Some of my least favorite pieces of media are where it seems like they think that the audience is, like, chronically brain dead.
Yep.
And that's what this seemed like.
That's what this whole season seemed like. And I will rattle off points just because we've been going. But I will rattle off points because it ties into what you just said, that they think the audience is brain dead. Meanwhile, the audience that you've accumulated for 9 years, for a decade, they like it for solving mysteries. They like it for this reason. They're using their brain. They have theories. So you introduce Kali. Kali in D&D, which everything else in this show has been about D&D. Kali is from the Abyss, which is the other name for Dimension X, the Abyss, right? Kali is an illusionist. Gets in your mind. Makes you see things that aren't there, and is really like a puppeteer, the big bad. And we see her. That's her power, is being an illusionist. We don't really... we understand her origins are because she was also in the experiment, but who's to say... Because she's also a shapeshifter. Kali in D&D is a shapeshifter. So she could have been... She could have been Vecna, really, for all I care, but she could have been the Mind Flayer. She could have been whatever else. And that's the name we get. But it was intentionally done. And they're showing her being an illusionist, tricking them, and tricking... Not tricking them. We think that she's tricking Hopper. We think she's tricking Elle into killing herself.
That's what they're telegraphing.
That's what they're telegraphing. Which, in theory, I guess can still be true based on my theory.
Okay.
In a sense.
Okay.
In a sense. You'll see why. Okay. Because you can see how it would fit in. But that's one of those points. Audience, we think you're dumb. So, while on one hand we'll give you that and we'll tell you all this stuff, oh, it's D&D, we're just not going to, like, stay consistent with that when we give you a character that's going to be that far. Because if we did, we would have told you straight out. Other things where we think audience is dumb. We need to give you like 10 minutes of exposition while Max needs to run to the gate and Holly's sitting there.
Don't talk to me
So,
about that.
but no, we're going to have her walk and they're going to take a nice stroll in the park And then Max is just going to be like, oh, hey, by the way, I know I've been here for 18 months. And you 10-year-old, you got here, and I get it. That's why they said, how did they write that off? They said the tourist versus the uncle who's like with the metal detector, and they said, I do this, get no treasure.
Holly is not supposed to be 10 years old. Holly's supposed to be 7.
So many things that are just wrong.
That's not her age.
I gave them that leeway saying, sure, you need her to be 10. But then you let the 10-year-old, and I get it, she's the tourist to the metal detector story where the tourist shows up, finds all the money. But I'm sorry. No, she didn't just happen upon it or stumble upon it necessarily.
Right.
She kind of did. But she took out the telescope from the sister's box that just happened, or from Henry's box of Boy Scout materials just by chance. And then she keeps leaving the cap on just by chance and doing all this and stumbles upon it. And Max is like, yeah, I've been searching for 2 years, kind of gave up. Had unlimited time in the canyon. But you just come in and figure it out, 10-year-old. By the way, by now, you can't come with me. But I'm going to give you 10 minutes straight of exposition as to why you can't come with me and what you need to do to find yourself.
You know what's crazy, though? Actually, the way that Holly found it didn't actually bother me.
No. I liked how she found it.
And it didn't bother me also that she was like... I didn't actually think it was unrealistic that Max wouldn't have been able to find it, but she would.
Well, I agree. I just think it was weird that they basically gave Max's reason as to why she didn't find it or search out there, that she gave up.
Oh yeah, that is weird.
Because she's sitting there. This is the only place.
Max. That's not very Max, I don't think.
Max has been trapped here for 18 months, and this is the only place where.
And she's been really close already to getting out the one time. So.
And she's been close, but not only that, she. This is the only place of solitude, of sanctuary that she has. So it's the only place she could explore day in and day out and know she's safe.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
And she didn't go to the bottom of the cave and just walk out and just look around the area and be like...
Yeah, why didn't...
She gave up. She gave up. There's nothing... And then she told Holly... She almost told Holly, there's nothing out there.
Yeah. That doesn't really make any sense to me. That doesn't seem like her.
No, that's what I mean. So, like the Mike thing. Defeating what your character is known for.
Yeah.
So you have the collie thing.
Are we in?
Right now, I'm gonna skip a good bit because we've covered a lot of things that we haven't.
Okay.
Because like and that's why I was gonna rattle some stuff off that was just like issues.
Okay.
Of all that, the Dr. Brenner having somehow had a map in the Upside Down.
Yeah. Wait. Why?
It's been frozen in time, and he's never shown to have been in the Upside Down, and also, but he already knew about the matter and the wormhole.
What's up? What's up with that?
Duffer brothers say, shoulder shrug. It just happened. The traitor thing, it's again why I thought Collie was going to happen. And on the other side, I'll even give you an alternative that I thought I thought they were going to go the traitor route, and it wasn't going to be a traitor in the good guys. I thought it was going to be like, oh, they flipped the script. They subverted expectations. The traitor is actually Vecna when they give Henry his scene.
Right.
And Will's talking to him, and it's like, you can help us fight.
Right.
The Mind Flayer. Traitor would still fit.
I also think it's really lame that they had this moment where, like, I thought it was so... I don't know. Something was annoying to me about him, like, almost realizing the whole situation, like being like, oh, I'm making my choice, and then he chooses the Mind Flayer. I don't know why. Everything I've learned about Henry, I know this is weird, but it doesn't, maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't really feel in character to me that he
all of a sudden sides with it,
decides after really coming to understand everything, deciding to side with it. That kind of confuses me because he doesn't seem like a weak character where he's like, well, I've been doing this whole time. I can't back away from it now. I have to make this choice. That doesn't really seem like him.
No.
That seems out of character, does it not?
It seems out of character.
Or it just seems like a weak character
Well, and
choice.
just that he's always been kind of like, it's clear that part of why, and this is why he's attached to Elle
right.
in the facility when she's young, is the bullies, made to feel weak. I'm not weak. I'm stronger than you because I have these powers now.
Right.
So he's not made to feel like the outcast weak one. And then he just goes into the, like, oh, it's okay if I'm the Mind Flayer's vessel and I'm just being a pawn, or I'm not a pawn, but we're on a level playing field. Like, he and I, we're friends. We both need each other. Versus saying, I can use my powers because I am so strong to be the strongest one. And don't need it. It's been controlling me. I need to beat it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Like, it's a cop-out.
It's a cop-out.
It really is, to make sure that they have enough of... But this is why it doesn't even make any sense. It's a cop-out to make sure you have enough of a big bad for people to fight, but then you don't even make it the big... Like, you don't even... Okay. You don't even make it a big bad, though.
No.
Like, it's not even a difficult battle. So I'm like, why did you even fucking keep him?
Some other really quick, really apparent plot holes things.
Okay.
There's vines everywhere. That used to mean a thing. You couldn't step on the vines. Now no one cares.
Tramping all over them.
Yep. The smoky thing that's like the vessels. Oh, he's in, like, the Mind Flayer's in you.
Yeah.
It just gets spat out of the kids and goes up into the air. That would mean it's still out there.
Great.
Or did it just dissipate?
Well, I'm sure they
Nothing.
want that. They need those spin-offs.
We need the spin-offs. Sensory deprivation tank in the Upside Down has water. In
Upside
season
Down
3,
doesn't have water.
in season 3, I'm pretty sure they made a point of someone, like, peeing on a wall or something, and it completely, like, as soon as it happens and it hits the wall, it's gone.
Yeah, because there's like
Or
no
no,
water.
maybe it was even episode 3 of this, like, when someone was peeing against the big flesh wall, right?
Perchance, how did Will survive?
I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
He
that
is a
kind of
vessel.
thing-
He is directly connected.
Yeah, I'm like, well,
He
how?
should be dead.
He should be dead.
He should be dead.
Actually, all the kids should be dead.
All those kids should have died.
All those
kids. That would have been your dark Christmas. That would have been, oh, we killed a lot of people. Yeah,
kids.
we won. But unfortunately, Will died because he was a vessel, and so did all the kids.
Yeah.
That would have made sense. Nope.
Or you have it where they weren't vessels long enough or something. You could have done that, but Will dies.
But Will dies.
Because, like, you...
There's your real sacrifice that they could have done without it being L.
Guys. And then it's even, like, more tragic because Will's sitting there watching, like, his true love, like, somebody that, like, he's so in love with, like, Mike and Elle, like, and they're still together, and then he's, like, dying while, like, they get to go and be happy together.
Yep.
Like, that's
It's
so
a tragic ending.
Like,
yes.
that's so sad.
Or you want to know what's tragic? Who's the person hacking off Vecna's head? Yeah. His mom. And she has to come up with a thing. Do I actually go through and kill this guy, knowing it's probably going to kill my son?
Yeah, right?
That's way more compelling.
Not even thinking about the fact that, like, she's watched this entire time, every time that something's happening with, like, Vecna or Demogorgons or whatever, every time. She watches her son in, like, searing, horrendous pain and doesn't even give it a second thought of, like, maybe I shouldn't
cut off this guy's head.
Cut this guy's head off, because what will that do to my son? Probably nothing.
It's okay. Just like Millie Bobby Brown. She's like, I'm going to kill you and I'm going to serve face while I'm killing you. That was her whole point there.
Yeah.
Joyce was like, I'm going to carry an axe and I'm going to chop off his head and my son will be fine.
Like, I'm so sorry. That's a
big
assumption on your part, too. And good thing the Duffer brothers aren't very good at writing, because otherwise your son might have died. Like, you are so lucky that they are bad writers.
Yeah, apparently he just was kind of struggling with a little bit of pain off screen.
Maybe. According to the Duffer brothers, he was doing a little, ooh, ouch.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, and there's so many plot holes about, like, with Will and the mind. This is why Conformity Gate happened, being like, Will and Vecna are one and the same. He should have died.
Yeah.
His birthday is the same.
His,
forgotten. The posturing, the framing, the 12 people that you're using in your seance, or telling them that you're gay, or like the roller skating tape being just happening to be on the same date as Henry and Will's birthday that everybody forgets. It sure seems like Vecna's trying to get Will to be forgotten by his friends. It was that. It's where are the parents in this whole thing? Lucas and Erica are running around while kids are going missing, while the world is ending. And their parents are like, oh, they're gone for a couple days. Oh, well.
Yeah, the parents, whatever. Where's Max's mom?
And to me,
where's she
the
at?
biggest one, the biggest unresolved thing, you've beaten Vecna. You've beaten the Mind Flayer. None of those issues are even a thing, right? You've just done it. We're not even going to focus on how many issues were with the final fight. You come out of the Upside Down.
Yep.
And the military gets you. Elle dies. The Upside Down collapses. Everything's gone. And they say, hey.
Shoot.
Well, there goes our research and everything. See ya. Oh, Hopper. I know you've killed, I don't know how many military members.
Killed people.
Murray
Hopper
blew
people.
up a helicopter.
Murray killed people. They're
Free to go.
y'all are good.
You're free to go.
Head on out. No. We just
Hey, should we question them at least? They were in there. They knew Elle more than anything. Like, they were her best friends. Should we question them? Nah, you're free to go.
go home. Get out of here, you
Hopper,
crazy kids.
Do you want to be sheriff again? Because
Yeah.
even before this, you were missing and thought to be dead. And then you did this and should probably be arrested and, like, locked away in a facility. Like, but what if you want to be sheriff again?
Yeah.
And so all that's why Conformity Gate happens, is the not resolving these things. There's too many cliffhangers. There's too many points that don't make sense. So people who were unsatisfied didn't want to say, I didn't like it. They wanted to say, they're just saving the best for last, and they're going to trick us. They really seem to give too many hints. Like, it has to be a thing. I'm going to give you my theory.
Okay.
On how I think it's going to work out. I'll give you a couple more clues that I think, at least right now, it is intentional. They do know more is happening. So the other name given to Henry or Vecna is Mr. Whatsit.
Right.
Every shot in the finale's, like, epilogue, when you're in the Wheeler house, when you're at the Byer house, there's a game called Whatsit in the background on every scene. Sure seems on the nose. Right? All the other things where, like, there's been the changes that there shouldn't have been, the color changing on the dial, the Mike's last conversation in the void really shouldn't have happened because they have the kryptonite there. The Duffer brothers said that for everybody wondering about the finale, the only thing that, like, you see that shouldn't have happened is he shouldn't have seen, like, they shouldn't be in the void. They pointed that out. They confirmed that shouldn't happen. So they know. Now, I think that's intentional, because I do think Conformity Gate, in a sense, is real. I do think all these things are happening in either Mike's head or Will's head. Something's happening. I think it's Mike, because Mike is the only main character. Lucas has been tormented because of Max's death. I get it. Mike has lost Elle and done all this, but he was so irrelevant, really, for the most part in this season, which seemed odd, especially during these last few episodes when it should be a big battle for him. So I think it's happening in his head, because if we're following the D&D lore, and even when it goes into the epilogue, Vecna's clock ticks again and ticks more, and it sounds, it's meant to be the sound that we see them laying the bricks because they're rebuilding the barrier. But Vecna's clock still ticks, and there was a weird New Year's radio show that you could listen to that's supposed to be the Squawk, which is what Robin works on, like a real thing outside of the show, that had cryptic messages and the clock ticking and stuff that sounded like code words, like Robin used to indicate a plan or more to come, right? So two things that make me think, yes, we will get more. I just don't think it's going to happen right away. Is one thing, we both saw this, the channel named Kate, want to give her credit for it, coming up with the whole, hey, they didn't register these as the final episode. Like, you do that legally.
Mm-hmm.
Register a finale as the final episode. And registering it as an episode the same way you do with all the other episodes. They didn't do that with this. You can check the legal recordings for episodes for like final episode ID. They didn't do that. Seems odd. So, how do the Duffer brothers prove that what they did was intentional, but also subvert expectations where this seems like this is the finale, but stay true to what they said in that interview of coming back to it, right? Well, it makes so much more sense that in a couple of years, Netflix is going to say we need a reunion episode, a reunion series, or a reunion season or movie. And that Conformity Gate is true. The story, it's not done. But it wasn't going to come out like a couple days later. It comes out when this reunion movie comes out, or reunion season. And that'll be the real final episodes. And I think it is in Mike's mind, like people are theorizing, because of what I call the King Arthur theory. We've seen several times over that they've used other media. We see, obviously, Mr. What's-It this season, and the book with Camazotz.
Right.
We've seen the poster for Alice in Wonderland, and Holly is clearly going down the rabbit hole. We've seen all the D&D lore.
Right.
King Arthur is referenced several times this season.
Okay.
And in past seasons, and ties into D&D lore explicitly.
Okay.
In the first episode of the season, Derek is shown playing a video game called Ghosts and Goblins. I won't take credit for knowing what that game was. I've seen someone talk about that game.
Okay.
Ghosts and Goblins is about King Arthur battling monsters to save a princess. Right? In a demon realm. Seems a whole lot like what's been going on. Now, at the end of season 1, when everybody's playing the final D&D game and they say it's only been 10 hours, that's it? What about the Lost Knight and the princess, right? And clearly, that was supposed to be Mike and Elle.
Right.
Because he kind of that was his coping then. So he's already been paralleled as the knight.
And she's already been paralleled
as the princess.
Right.
The proud princess, I think is what they call it. Well,
Right.
the Lost Knight parallels Arthur and Mike. They're all one and the same. That game that Derek's playing, when you beat the game the first time, it tells you that was all an illusion. You have to beat the game again to get the real ending. Interesting. Follow me a little further. A Wrinkle in Time, which is what was used for Camazotz and Mr. What's-It. Yeah. We see all that happening. And then it cuts to Holly's friend. I think is her name Alice. I wrote it in here. No.
So,
Anna.
Anna.
I wrote it in my notes. Her friend Anna, when she gets picked up by the military to go and we're going to protect you, right? And they're using them as bait. She's watching a movie that they spent like way too much time looking at the screen, just like they did with Derek's game.
Right.
That movie is The Sword and the Stone. Because you see Merlin.
Right.
And The Sword and the Stone is about Arthur.
Right.
And wouldn't you know it, he goes on a journey with Merlin. Merlin, very clearly, warlock, wizard, sorcerer, will.
Right.
Right? And in that movie, he can travel through time. And he takes them through time to fight a witch who turns into a dragon. Okay? Now, wouldn't you know that in the movie, that antagonist who's an evil witch, Vecna, or maybe Kali,
Yeah.
who turns into a dragon, sure parallels a lot of the dragon imagery we've seen between the painting that Mike is given by Will,
Right.
that has a knight fighting a three-headed red dragon.
Right.
And when they say, gee, that's it? What about the knight and everything? What are they fighting? What is the thing they have to fight? The Thessal Hydra.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen that referenced many times. The
Right.
Thessal Hydra, that's the big bad.
Yeah.
So unless the Mind Flayer is just a really poor representation of the Thessal Hydra, which I don't think it is, that's still out there.
Right.
Well, a red multi-headed dragon in D&D lore is known as Boris of Ebe. And I keep referring to my notes because I don't know all the lore on D&D, but Boris of Ebe is a powerful ancient dragon, often depicted as a supreme evil far above Vecna. It literally talks about Vecna in his lore. This dragon, clearly mirroring the Thessal Hydra. Multi-headed dragon, super evil, connected to Vecna. The knight's painting that Will gives Mike. The video game.
Right.
The sword and the stone. Even Nancy's vision was of like her family getting killed. It parallels with the dragon type of imagery.
Oh. But man, I'm so concerned that they just accidentally did this shit again.
If they somehow
Accidentally
accidentally
did all of this.
because even Boris is able to create illusions,
Right.
use mind control, and make himself invisible, which is exactly what Kali seems to kind of be able to do. And Kali is supposed to be this tricking,
Wow.
and she just happened to die in the quick action there that happens. Oh, she gets shot and dies. And the Duffer brothers already gave us the thing of like, what if she? And Mike says, Mike, the storyteller, the
What if
the
she
DM,
didn't die?
what if she didn't die? And that's my way of coping.
Right.
So I think he's right. I think she didn't die. I think she used an illusion to show Elle and Hopper that she died, so she could escape and run off
To do
back
whatever
to the
she was doing.
and be invisible until she gets back to Dimension X, where she's now going to regroup. Vecna, her 5-star general, has died. The Mind Flayer supposedly has died. That was the big bad. That was what she wanted you to see as the big bad, and now she's taken her rightful place back safe in Dimension X, and she got Elle trapped.
Oh.
And I think we're going to open up on something where it'll be a reunion movie or show, a series.
Wait. All episodes are out.
All episodes are out.
Movie.
A movie would go.
There's
perfectly
no episode
fit.
9. There's a movie.
There's a movie.
And if you guys come back and you guys give us that, I will give you a soft golf clap.
Yeah, because wouldn't that be
Tennis
nice?
Golf clap.
Yeah, golf clap.
I would think that's okay. I'm still mad at you because there's still plot holes.
There's still plot holes.
There's still
There's still things
and it was
that-
still like the lines were cheesy as fuck. Like, unless you're gonna come back and say some stuff about like, well, this was all in like a teenager's mind, which is why everything was so cheesy. I could see that. I guess. Or a dragon's interpretation of human interaction.
Well, and if it's in Mike's head, right?
Yeah.
And the other things we've been led to believe is like we've been shown a lot of imagery from the play and the play within a play that happened to be the canonical stage play was about a play within a play. So it's like all really weird script writing. It's in Mike's head. It's a little too like the illusion that Kali, in this case Boris, is giving him is too generic, too
Yeah.
whatever. But that's why there's so many weird holes, so many colors changing because they can't get it right.
I
There's the
wish
person.
this was right, man.
There's the person when they're graduating. They think everything's happy. Max has been in a coma for 2 years almost, but graduates on time. There's someone at graduation holding a yellow poster that has nothing written on it.
Why are they wearing these fuck-ass orange robes? Sorry.
There's
Why are
so
they
many
wearing
things.
these freak
It's
butt
fine.
orange robes?
Right.
Like, for real, though, they look ugly.
They look terrible.
They look terrible.
Really bad color.
Also, why does Mrs. Wheeler have a scar on her neck at the graduation, and then as soon as they get home, she doesn't have the scar anymore? That's so weird.
And I'd like to point out that while we've given them shit about their writing, these are the same people who wrote an ad for Tide using Mrs. Wheeler for promotional tie-ins. It's an actual ad that ran, a commercial for Tide to tie in with Stranger Things, where she says, when things get rough, I wash clothes. And I use Tide, right? She does that. Well, what's the thing that she does in this season to kill the Demodogs?
Right, that's great.
She uses the washing machine. Like, they tie in these things.
That's nice. That's
So
nice.
they have the ability.
Yeah, you got the ability, so why aren't you using it? Maybe they are. Maybe
Maybe they are.
your theory is right. And you know what? I'll take back what I said, and I'll say that your synapses are, they are closer together than I had originally anticipated. I will say that. I will say that if that happens to be the case. I think that'd be great if it was like that, but I really doubt it. I have a hard time believing it only because I'm like, why would you allow yourself the generational fumble of that finale episode, though?
That's the thing. You made so many people upset with
Like,
it
how
that it
is
feels
it
like you might lose some of your audience.
So bad. Because if you have the knowledge to know and, like, the mental to pull together something so wonderful, don't you have the mental to anticipate how poorly received that episode is going to be? I feel like that's not worth it.
Maybe they've just seen how bad some series can have, like, a fumble of a movie or of a show and still retain the audience when a new one comes out or a sequel.
I guess.
Like, they're seeing all that and they're like, well, if we come back 5 years from now and we say, you know what you haven't seen? Stranger Things. Oh, look at that. They're all grown up. They already were this season. How are we supposed to believe they're kids? That's a whole other issue. But when
There's
Netflix...
a lot of issues with stuff like that.
There's so many issues. But when Netflix inherently says, we want some more money and that's our biggest cash cow, and the Duffer Brothers verbally said in an interview, we'll come back to it when we need some more money.
I know they might be joking, but it's like such a
You want to know what's
poor taste. Like, I just don't think that's in good taste.
It's not in good taste.
Like,
but you know who also said something about it, and I think he did it unintentionally, was Finn Wolfhard.
Oh.
In an interview on, I think it was a Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon, one of the night shows, he's talking about how he had a conversation with the Duffer Brothers and how we'll all come back when we're old and fat and we'll fight one final battle in a reunion. Like, that's just to close the story. Like, we'll give him some time. And then he kind of, like, veers off, like, it's just whatever. But he sure seemed to, like, say that really quick and then, like, yeah, it's all just, when we're old and fat. Kind of making a joke out of it. Saying that he had that conversation with the Duffer Brothers, and the Duffer Brothers kind of gave him, like, it wasn't a non-answer. It was more of like a, yeah, we'll get there. And I just think there's too much left with the Thessal Hydra with Kali, who's now back in the upside down and back in the...
I guess. It's just, I hate how poorly it ended.
Yep.
You could have had both. You could have made it end in a way that, like, closed it out, but still was well written. And then also have had a lot of plot holes, and people be like, what the fuck is going on with all these plot holes? You know what I mean? And still do
Or
that.
have some of the main characters start to question things a little bit. To make the audience be like, oh, at least they're seeing it too.
Yeah. Like, to me, it's hard to believe that, like, I don't know. Like, it's hard to believe that they left that many things signaling to a future kind of
Another
movie,
entry,
episode,
right? Yeah.
season something, but then also left so many weird glaring plot holes that aren't things that would necessarily be answered in a final.
In a movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, they're not going to come back to Vicky in a movie. They're not going to come back to Dustin's girlfriend in a movie. They're not going to come back to, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of that kind of stuff they're not going to.
No. Which I'd be, as an audience member, I'd be fine with. I don't need all that. I would just want to see that Elle's alive. She didn't need to die because that was stupid anyway. That was a stupid reason and a stupid way for her to die. She got convinced by Collie, who's been gone and is the least liked character by the audience from the least liked episodes and season of the audience. And she's convinced in like one half of a conversation to kill herself. And then Mike, the storyteller, who every time he says this person is capable of something, it becomes true.
Right.
And,
like, those kinds of things would have been really cool to bank off of.
Well, and I think that's what they're going to do.
Well,
I think it'll be when they want some more money. I think it'll happen. I think it's when they want some more money and they want to do it and they say the last episodes are airing, whatever, we'll do a movie, a reunion movie. We'll have all these characters who all the actors want more money to, and we'll bring them all back. And Steve can still die. We'll pay off some of these other things. We'll give you some deaths. But Elle can survive and have her future that Hopper told her and Mike told her about. Collie can live up to being the big bad. Can be the Thessal Hydra. And it would fit enough that some of those other things can be excused and forgiven. And it would be more satisfying.
I agree with you. I will cross my fingers. I'm crossing them. I really hope they do that. I really wanted Conformity Gate to be real. Like, I genuinely did, and I want this to be real. It would be great if it ends up being. I'm still actually not convinced, only because it's like, I don't know. I just,
it's a lot of trust.
It's a lot of trust to have in these two dodo birds. I don't know. I just, like, I was so upset with how badly this season went. I just was.
Blame you.
It's hard for me to, like, trust these two.
Yeah, it's all been. That's when you're talking about how can they expect that the audience won't be so killed from the steam of wanting to watch this that they'll return to it.
Yeah, that's kind of my point, right? Where it's like, that was so bad that even if you did release more, I can't even say that I would necessarily be gnawing at the bit to want to watch it.
Yeah, we gave you our trust for 9 years.
Yeah, and you kind of, like,
you just spat in our face.
Yeah, that's kind of the feeling I have right now. So, you know, respect to anybody who was able to get what they wanted out of it and was happy with the ending and felt satisfied. Good for you. I'm so happy for you because, you know, that's great that you feel like the characters got to where you can put them in a nice resting spot in your head. I'm so happy for you. But also, why are your standards so low? You should have higher standards for yourself. That's, like, genuinely how I feel whenever anybody is accepting of, like, slop. I'm like, I don't even know, like, what kind of what kind of people are you dating? Like, who are you letting into your life? If this is what you accept, if this is what you accept for your media, what do you accept in your romantic life?
These are the real questions.
I want to know the parallels. You know, and that's how I feel about that. Like, what do you accept food wise? You just go out on the street and you're like, that.
How's your mental health?
Yes.
How's your mental health?
But anyways, all respect to anybody who finally felt like they enjoyed this.
If you enjoyed it, good for you.
No, actually.
Genuinely good for you.
No jokes.
Because it's a lot better than being upset about it right now. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
At least you're choosing to be happy, because I can't get over the fact that it was that angry. It's not going to hurt me in my real day life.
No.
I can move on. I'll be fine.
But it is sad.
It's sad. We grew up, a lot of people, this was their childhood growing up and watching this.
Yeah, like, that came out when I was like, what? When did this come out?
Well, it's been a decade.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That's why I was surprised that the show's been on for a decade, but it has.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And there's a lot of people who grew up with it.
I've been through 3 relationships since this came out.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Not actually that crazy, but it is.
Yeah. 3 long-term relationships since that came out.
What was their take on this last season? Because maybe if you're sitting with your partner and they're happy with this, what does that say about them? Let's keep going down that rabbit hole.
That's real. Like, we'd watched that together and you had been, like, really excited about it.
That would have concerned you, right? You've been like, a little scared for your mental state,
No,
and also like your...
I would kind of be like, that wouldn't be you, and so all of a sudden I would be like, am I? Is Conformity Gate me?
I'm under Vecna's
I'm
curse.
under Vecna's curse right now because that's not Andrew. That would be like genuinely. If you had a reaction like that, I would start like kind of low key being like, all right.
I don't think I could blame you for looking at me weird after that
All
one.
right. Okay, that's not Andrew, but okay.
But good on you if you could enjoy that.
I know we keep like not saying other things and then saying, oh, good thing if you enjoyed it.
Because I know I've definitely been in the group that's like other people hate on it, and you're like,
FNAF.
I just
FNAF.
I wasn't gonna say it,
FNAF.
but FNAF. The
So many
FNAF 2
people
movie.
will hate on like the movies and stuff. And look, I understand.
I will eat my slop.
I'm eating my slop, though,
All right.
and I'm enjoying my slop. And the reason I'm enjoying my slop is because it's an indie film. Or not an indie film, sorry. No, it's an indie game developer that became so much more and had an incredibly successful franchise that has incredible bones and is, I think, a very interesting IP and story that continues to be interesting and continues to have passion in it.
Well, and Scott's given himself such a good way of...
And he's passionate.
He's passionate and he loves it, and he's given himself so many outs of being like, this just is a different continuity.
I love that.
It doesn't follow. But it's still also for the fans.
It is.
Stranger Things Season 5 was not
fans.
for the fans.
I don't know who the hell that was for.
No.
Who the
In
fuck
fact,
was that for?
it made fun of fans.
It did.
If you didn't think it made fun of the fans who were about Byler, if you don't think it made fun of the fans who do the homework to figure out the mysteries, solve the theories, do all that, it spat in their face and it said, you're going to like your slop. Take it, eat it, enjoy it. And if you say otherwise, the internet's never satisfied.
Yeah, the internet. Shut up. That made me so angry. I watched that video waking up. I was on my phone. Shouldn't have been on my phone when I wake up.
Ruined your day.
Ruined my day. It literally did. As soon as I saw that thing, I literally was like, you have a backbone. You motherfucker. Have a backbone.
Get off your knees.
That's what I was saying. I was like, stop bouncing on it. Get up. Get up.
Come on.
I say that all the time whenever I like see a video and somebody's just like behaving so... It's typically when I see a girl and she's just trying really, really hard to get a guy or something. I'm like, get up. Stop it.
You're better than this.
Get up. I always say that. I'm always like, please stop doing this.
You know what's
Stop doing
crazy?
that.
There's still more connected. There's so much more that we still didn't talk about in here because it's not important, or it's kind of like rehashing stuff.
No.
I've had so many points that made me so angry for so long, and I will say I even have more points because I went down a rabbit hole searching up this Boris, the dragon.
Boris.
There's more that ties into it. I will be even more pissed off if they don't give us a movie. They've done such a bad job with this season. Not only was I left unsatisfied and pissed off with what they did, if we don't get a Conformity Gate, if we don't get a movie as a reunion that jumps on the fact of saying, Elle's still alive, and Kali is the bad guy and a bigger bad guy than Vecna, and it ties into all the imagery we've used for a decade, I will be even angrier at them.
Yeah, I will too. But I'm not holding my breath. I'm really not.
No.
I'm not holding my breath.
Because you get your next slop in their universe now. With the animated series and with...
I'm telling you, it's probably gonna be ass.
They'll do that, and they'll have a show that's actually called Montauk. Because that's what this is based on, right?
Yeah.
It's Montauk. So, and they reference
Which is like low key kinda like,
come on.
well, there were real people who were children who were being experimented on, but I'll tell you.
Is that confirmed? I guess we'll never know.
But I mean, not to say you can't like tell stories and such. I'm not saying that, but I'm just like, okay. I don't know. I'm like really critical of everything with them right
wanna know
now.
what's
They're
funny?
pissing me off.
If they don't do that, the ending could have been so much better. Of Elle just figuring out how to do the illusion thing.
Right.
Getting past the military.
Right.
Her living the life she was supposed to live, like Hopper said.
Yep.
And the satisfaction that we would have gotten with the happy ending where you didn't kill anybody off.
Yep.
I still would have been happy with that.
Yeah.
Because at least she gets to do that the gate's closed.
Right.
The world's
Like,
that's
you
done.
really closed the world. You've left this open, freaking ended.
Well-
There's not closed.
And for everybody who just goes, well, then she's in this world, and the military is like coming after her, or they're saying, do you know what people do with the Montauk theory or the conspiracy? And every conspiracy? The survivor, because she wouldn't have had her powers still. I still stand by that. So she gets through, she doesn't have her powers. No one's going to believe him. It's just a conspiracy. And then it's just like the Montauk conspiracy. Because then what? Oh, sure. That person says they were experimented on. That person says their friend was experimented on. It's all just a conspiracy.
Ugh.
They could have
Yeah.
ended it on that and
True.
been like, but at least she gets to live her happily ever after.
True. Yeah. No, that's such a good point.
How did you miss all the
Fumbles.
good endings?
Big fumbles.
How?
No, and like, okay, also I need to clarify something. I'm very sorry, everybody. I know that like some of this is just being a hater for hater's sake. Some of it. Most of it not. Like, most of this is like legitimate. But like, it just pisses me off so much. I get so mad. And like, especially about this one. This one was egregious. Like, it was egregious. It was really bad. And so that's why I've been so like, I have oh my god, bringing it back for the end of this, because I know we need to end this. This is like 2 hours and 30 minutes. But yeah, bringing it back to my regular who comes in, right?
Yeah.
So my regular comes in to my place of work, and I'm talking to him about it. He's like, what was so bad about it? He's like, I don't understand. And I was like, how do you not understand? And he was like, well, I didn't think it was that bad. And I was like, you didn't? I was like, what did you like about it? And he was like, well, I was like, well, he's like, I don't understand what was like that bad about it. And I was like, I mean, the plot holes were really bad. And he was like, well, yeah, the plot holes were really bad. He's like, but like, which ones do you mean? And I like listed off some of the ones we just talked about. And he was like, yeah. And then he was like, and then this and this and then this one. And he kept listing some more. And I was like, yeah, buddy.
You just had to unlock
buddy.
that door for
And
him
then
to be like,
he like went away, and I was like working on some drinks, and then I came back later, and I was like, I'm sorry, did you not think that like the lines were incredibly cheesy, and like the way they were speaking was like kind of really bad writing? And he was like, yeah, you know, it kind of was really bad. And I was like, yeah, it was really bad.
it was pretty bad.
And you know what? It's okay to think it's really bad. Come join me. Join me in thinking it's really bad, because it is. And it's okay to be critical of it.
And maybe you just need to have a conversation
And-
or hear someone rant.
And you know what? It's okay if it did make you emotional or cry, because think of it this way. At the end of the day, it was a really big part of your life, right? You did spend like a long time enjoying this piece of media and connecting with these characters and getting to know them. So obviously, as we're winding down the season, no matter how atrocious the writing and all of that might be, it is going to be emotional, especially watching these actors who are having real connecting moments where they are here for the last time, enjoying each other and knowing that these are their last scenes together. And watching them be emotional over that and seeing that real human emotion in those scenes where they are really feeling like a lot of nostalgia, sadness, and like letting go of something. That does make you emotional, and it did make me emotional. I did cry at the end, and not because the show was doing anything for me, but because I could relate to the actors, knowing that, and knowing from interviews that those scenes were the last scenes that they were shooting together, right? And knowing, having been in shows, and obviously nothing as big as that, but like having done stuff in the past, knowing how emotional a closing of a show is, I can't even imagine closing that many years together. I mean, what would that be, like 12 years of like filming things together? How emotional that would be. And so of course that probably made everybody feel a little something, even if you didn't know what it was. So that doesn't take away your right to be critical of it just because it did make you emote. And just because it made you emote didn't mean that it was good. And there's nothing wrong with it being that way. If it did make you emote, even though it wasn't a good piece of media, doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
Top to bottom, I think you said it perfectly. I know it made me emotional just seeing them there
Yep.
thinking that's the actor,
That's
not the character.
Yeah.
And that's
again,
fine.
even if it is the character, we grew up with these characters, and seeing them in this scenario is emotional, and that's okay.
Yeah. And I really hope Conformity Gate is real.
Oh, me too.
Please. And let it be that movie. If it's not what I said, that's fine. Just something that can make it more satisfying.
Yeah.
Do these characters better for them. Do it for the actors. Do it better.
For the fans.
For the fans. Come on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for listening to us yap today. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and liking. They are both free and both so quick, and genuinely help us out so incredibly much, and we will be forever grateful and thankful to you for doing that.
Yes.
If you haven't already, please go follow our other socials. And I know that this is new, so I don't know what all things to say, but just thank you for watching, especially if you watched all the way or listened all the way to the end. Really kind of you and sweet of you. I have no idea, I don't know. Just thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for letting us be a part, and for watching episode 1
of
Culture Cast.
Okay. Talk to you guys later. I think the next episode is going to be about Fallout.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that.
Yep, and then coming down the pipeline after that will be, I'm thinking FNAF.
Gotta do FNAF. I know that you've had a bad taste about Marvel, but there's a Spider-Man movie.
We're gonna do a whole episode on why I have a bad taste in my mouth with Marvel and why it's really hard for me to talk about it.
I think we have to talk about that because I think a lot of people will relate. But I've got high hopes for the Spider-Man movie.
Okay.
So we should talk about that. I think that we should do some, other than just ranting, we can do some things like maybe some tier listing stuff, talking about some things, ranking some things. Let's see, what else because I took a couple notes on that too and thought maybe Zelda movie.
Definitely talk about that. I'm actually having a lot higher hopes for that than I thought I was going to. So, because that's a whole other thing. I mean, obviously there's a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline, but I think the next episode will probably be Fallout related.
We're watching those episodes right now, so. And
just so you know, this one is much more positive. I really like the Fallout show.
How about that?
Yeah, I know. Actually, there you go. There is a piece of media that I'm really pumped about. Some people have been pretty critical about it, but I really enjoy it.
You're on the other side this time.
Yeah, I am on the other side this time. So, okay, look, I'm not all negative.
She's not cynical, I promise.
Yeah. Okay, anyways, have the best night or day ever, and we will talk to you guys later. Bye everybody.